Okay, we're back then, I guess. Let's go straight to 6-16, I guess. It doesn't look right. Iridium crystals floating in the air beside her. How is that possible? It's repulsive dissociation. The iridium crystals permeate her skin to form black ice crystals along with the water modules in the air. Permeation. Shit. Blaze? Does it hurt? Doesn't that hurt her? Don't you feel pain, White Rabbit? Enough, that's enough. Why are you doing this? Stop it. Amia? I don't like the look on your face. Wait. I mean, don't do it. Don't reach into her mind. I did. I'm not using arts, but her emotions. Her emotions are pouring into my consciousness. I've been waiting for you. You want to kill your union's commander, don't you? Why is she standing right in front of you? You're your target. Get hot, burning hot. Hot. Is that her emotions? Team stand by. Trust me, we don't need to waste our breath here. Lungmen exiled the infected Valkyria as to where they could go. They're not coming. You know, there were still thousands of infected people in the city. Lungmen resigned them to their fate. No one will interfere in our fight. So many of us against you alone. What else? Honestly, we're a little outnumbered. No one should be stupid enough to take an avalanche head on. But actually head on against an avalanche, I think I'd come out on top. But you're one of those, like, where all the code in the world gathers up into a single focal point. A lot of your Yay squad was pushing your abilities to the limit, making your arts more powerful and effective. I was wrong, they didn't make you stronger. It's your arts that made them stronger. As long as my brothers and sisters are with me, I can't risk hurting them by releasing my full power. By now, they're all dead. There are no living things left around me. Temperature has dropped dramatically. Not good, such a low temperature, it's thrown off my instruments. I no longer have any reason to contain the winter within me. What the hell does the reunion have its own walking catastrophe? As lowest temperature Iridium Arts has ever achieved. I've got a feeling she's breaking records one after another right now. Frostnut, well, I'll ask you again, are you serious about this? Anything else you want to say? Yeah, knock it off, White Rabbit. You're going to get yourself killed. You're really going to die. You're strong enough already. You don't have to push it this hard. You have to do this to get a fight. If you want to fight, fight all you want after this. I want to see infected killing each other. There's no reason for us to fight to the death here. No. Blaze. Ready up. She shreds my fingernails. They're cracking. Really want to kill us. I have a reason. As commander, I've lost. But as a warrior, I'm still in the fight. MAMS-1 Blaze Mice for all units do you copy? Exit the area now. You too, Gavial. Because you can't come back to save us if you don't get out now. Who's the best sniper in our squad? Me. You might die, are you sure you want to volunteer? I'm sure, I am the best at the moment. Okay, Readthrough, you say everyone else get the hell out. Hurry. Why'd you withdraw your team during a decisive battle? Up against Frost Nova, the number of squads don't make a difference. They have no way to protect themselves, and she can kill in an instant. There's not much you can do, even if someone has skilled as rangers. It's not the archery, it's the materials. Crossbow seems to be useless already. It'll be good for a bit, but you decide whether it works or not. If it was up to me, I'd take a few shots at her with Rhodes Island's main guns. That'd be pretty helpful. Or conjure up 1,000 fire team to spray ammo and arts into her to see what she can take. Sure, now see him eventually, but maybe not before we do. You bring a tourniquet. You should ask me if I have any anticoagulants with me, the kind that won't mess up. Blaze. You asked earlier why Froststone can endure the pain of iridium crystals piercing her skin. I know why, I can feel it. She can endure it because the pain inside her was worse, several times worse. Now, Doctor, you need to go too. No, Doctor. You want to see it through. Be a trustworthy doctor. Let's see it through, Amia. Dr. A is committed. Dr. Rhodes Island. Your decision won't do them any favors. So how do you do it? Doctor, you came to Rhodes Island. I will fight shoulder to shoulder with my operators. I get it. Blaze, Greythroat, Dr. A. It's going to be an uphill battle. Heh. Check out White Rabbit. That's our Dr. A and Amia. Oh, don't do this. Ever. Are you ready? Let's get this started. Forward explosion. A fine attack. Ice blades. Piff. Kid, do you think I'm a caster so frail? Are you serious? The heat currents writhing on your saw blades are no match for my cold. You cannot stop my frost. I didn't underestimate you, but I didn't think. My saw can cut through a city wall and you can block it. To me, your movements, your strength, it doesn't even register. Next we go for a throat. Air compression demolition. Haha, that was a close call. I almost got an ice blade through my jugular. That's right, you're a warrior just like me. What do I do, Amia? I'm running out of ideas. Time to tag you in. Amia, my finger is getting too cold to pull the trigger. I have to end this quickly. Iridium arts are 100 times stronger than they were back in the ruins. And she's not out of tricks yet. Won't be enough. If I don't loosen my rings, everyone will freeze to death. Frost Nova. Don't even think about it. Huh. My finger. Watch your entire battle with Tula. Tweaking these rings enhances your arts. 10 rings, all of them frozen. You're too childish to be a warrior. So you chose a few rings. You've got a mouth on you, don't you? And with that, turn up the heat on this high, and they're not melting at all. Blaze, stop it. Don't waste blood. This is a very powerful and very fine iridium art. The cold stream swept along the iridium crystals and wrapped around us as we enter area. She has with it before we could get cut off by your thermal currents without us even noticing. My hearts can't even cut through. Now began as soon as you set foot in this room. These 10 frost rings will drain your body heat and squeeze iridium arts. The more power you supply to him, the stronger and colder ice crystals become. Pathetic. Eruption. Energy store. Reserves. Trying to defeat me with a few tricks. Do you know what you're up against? Greythroat. Piercing bolt. Roger. 6-shot ready. Until I knew what engineered your demise long before it all began. Air compression fire. Loose. Now Rhodes Island is just like these bolts. What? Why did the bolt freeze in midair? Truly pathetic. She knocked it off course with her airstreams and broke it with cold. Greythroat, what are your arrows made of? It's Rhodes Island standard issue carbon fiber hybrid aluminum. Oh no, we're in trouble. Even somewhat shameful. Whether she knows it or not, her arts have reached a level that's well beyond anything the damn scholars are talking about these days. Just a little pinch and you fall to pieces. Think about it. I'm just the leader of Yeti Squad. Reunion is controlled by a woman named Tallulah who intercepted you at Chernobog and killed your friends. What do you think Tallulah is? The leader of Reunion? The infected messiah? Is there no such thing? Whatever image you have of her in your head, if she were some kind of messiah, the old man and I wouldn't be leading Reunion at all. She was at first a military officer, then a warrior, and finally a leader. But she has betrayed us. The most determined and committed warrior I've ever known was actually a case of assumed identity. And her last remaining enemies are people like you who have no resolve and never had to look death in the face. Watch your tone, White Rabbit. You're not the only one who puts her life on the line. You have remorse in your eyes too. You don't have to tell me. You're ready to accept their deaths. That's enough. Haha, am I ready? I thought about it so many times, seen them dying so many times in my nightmares. I just never thought. You're the same way, kid. I can see that. I imagined my tragic death, but I never thought it would be so lonely. You had brothers, so did I. The Rhodes Island operators who fought Tallulah at Chernobog were each quite heroic. One they called Ace was a warrior tenacious to a level I've rarely seen in my life. He fought with emotion few warriors do. Sorrow. We're not close enough yet. Yeah, I'm really comfortable talking about my old battle buddies with you. Only a fighter who incessantly reflects on his battles would be concerned. He was a good warrior. As are you. I died alone. Are you sorry you lost him? Of course. Do you regret not having a chance to save him? Absolutely. Aren't you going to ask anyone? Ask. Ask that question you know how to form, that you don't know who to ask. You. Why? Such strong emotions, Frostnova. Why? Wasn't I there? Why wasn't I stronger? Why didn't I stop it? The temperature is so dropping. Sad by me, her cold is so overpowering. It's all I can do to keep the air around me warm. Why? Why did I fall to the ground when my brothers and sisters needed me most? They're all fools. All fools who only know how to help each other. Who only want to survive. Who only want a place to live. Why can't I even grant the wishes of a bunch of idiots? Why is Ursus so cruel to our people and so callous to ordinary Ursus? Why is it that the little flame that can ignite the world has to be extinguished in this foreign land? Why is it that in the war we waged to put a stop to evil, I wasted more lives? I already give up our lives, only to have achieved a lot. Why won't this world give me a little more time? In fact, they should be proud of who they are, and use the simplest means to seize justice from the world. At first I saw it as only a part of the Reunion ideal. Indeed, it brought strength to infected. They stopped thinking of themselves as Empire's father. But now I realize that the beliefs that Tallulah once taught us about, the ideas that demand grassroots support, and the goals that must be constantly reinforced and corrected are all gone. Only instigation and indulgence we were thrown into the toughest of battles, and with no inputs in the ranks, it all came too soon. This is all Tallulah's doing, and she deceived everyone from the very beginning. Things are often not as they seem. If she would take the infected to the darkest of futures to complete her most wicked plan, then her evil must be destroyed. But my brothers and sisters, the countless dead, infected, uninfected, nothing can bring them back. What made her this way? It shouldn't be like this. It should never have been. My people, my brothers and sisters. Amia. Do you hear that, Amia? Frost Nova. Cold stream is too much. She can't even condense it into a form. It's blasting away my heat flow. Is it cold enough to chill your body heat? Is deaf enough to make you squeamish? You won't Amia and you can't. You can read minds, can't you, buddy? Read now, then. My rage, the that has been stifled by bitterness and boiled in my breast for more than a decade, yet never given up beating. Read it, Amia. Read it well. How much anger is there in this heart over dead loved ones, over the corrupt Ursus, over the infected, over the people of Ursus, in this heart that will not stop, that will not die? Did you ever hate her, Miss Frostnova? Huh. I never hated her. Even she was the cause of all this pain today, I never hated her. What does hatred bring you and me? I have nothing but endless seething rage for this despicable planet. How about you? Do you have such anger in your heart? Don't you have relatives who died of oropathy, a friend who died thanks to the indifference of this world? You haven't lost the people you depend on to survive, to give you something to live for. Just proclaiming a certain philosophy, just taking on a certain art, just organizing a few teams. Would that be enough to defeat Tallulah? It's time to wake up from your fantastical dreams. I get Miss Frostnova. Everything that just flooded into my mind. I know what it is. What's pushing Rhodes Island forward? What motivates you to keep fighting? Dead ahead, huge cold stream. It's just about the shape of a dagger. If this keeps up, I'll have to surrender my back and gather heat flow in front of me as a shield. But a cold stream was robbing the air of its molecular vibrations. Even if I managed to form a shield, I couldn't hold it for long. Doctor, come on, you must have some idea. Since we can't break it, we'll just have to hold on. It's like saying nothing. No, the doctor is right. Frostnova doesn't have much life left in her. If you can hold out, we can win. What are you talking about? If you do that, she'll die. It was her choice, and the only chance she left us. What about your choices? In the face of the evil that must be destroyed, in the face of the betrayer who has usurped the ideas of the infected, what's in your heart? Why does it beat? You can't even defeat me. How are you going to face her? How are you going to lead the countless infected? How are you going to fight against this malignant world? Frostnova, thank you. But I can't be mad at you. Are you wasting my time? Oh, Frostnova, I know what I'm going to do. I can't really read minds, and reading hearts doesn't mean I can't understand someone better than people who don't have this ability. I just can't refuse. I can't shut out the emotions that pour out of you. Flooding my mind with pain and worry, and anger. You're sober and calm, but the anger burns so hot that I want to pull back. But I can't. Frostnova, I know exactly what I have to do. I will not refuse you. Miss Frostnova, I felt it. Why are you crying? Frostnova, you... No, wipe your tears. You will not cry before your enemy. Amia, tell me your answer. Go ahead, Amia. Dr. A. If you must fight, then you must fight to end. Doctor, we are going to fight Frostnova. Only one side walks out of here. Yes, you will now fight me. Only one of us leaves. You can defeat me. It means someone will be able to survive. I am willing to join Rhodes Island. I am willing to fight together with you against the enemies of the infected your way. This is my burden to bear. I hope you keep your word. When I make a promise, I keep it. And Miss Frostnova, the infected don't need anyone to lead them. We're just fighting for the same beliefs, but not for any one person. Never for any one person. That's right, corruption must be eradicated. Defeat me and defeat Tallulah. What are you? Be anyone. Who are you fighting for? For everyone. Good. Amia. Thank you. Every time even time itself will freeze here. Code is moving in on us. Readthrough. Ready. Doctor, stay by myself. Side. I'll try to protect you. Frostnova! You will die here in battle, and I will extinguish your absurd fantasies. Or defeat me. Defeat me and show me hope. It shattered. Oh man, got this from some wizard. Said it would keep me alive. Even make it through one fight, huh? I guess it was fake. Just like I'm his fake daughter, maybe. And now like reunion as well. Blaze. Code's gone. I'm fine, Amia. Hurry, go check on the white rabbit. Nice win, Rhodes Island. My brothers and sisters, I let them die in vain. We accomplished nothing. Life wasn't worth anything at all. Followed you because of your ideas. Life isn't worth anyone's time. Go save who you can. Hurry. Go. Whether it's stopping the raincoats, going to kill Mephisto, or sheltering the infected who have nowhere else to go. Go do something worthwhile. Doctor. I'll stay. Okay. Doctor, please tell her. Please. What a naive rabbit. Just like Tallulah back then. Very similar. To be able to see someone like this before I die. Someone so determined to realize their ideals. Did you promise to join Rhodes Island? I guess that's been swirling around in your head, huh? Villains are what villains are. I have no complaints about the ending I deserve. I have hurt you, Reunion, and I targeted innocent Arknights and single-handedly led the Earth's infected into this nightmare. Such people have no business at Rhodes Island. My brothers and sisters, these fools must have tried to keep me alive, huh? Thought that even if I died here, those idiots would get a place where they could live in peace. Wrong and wrong, they died to protect me, a woman who didn't have much time left to begin with. Not happy. We were used and abused, our lives thrown away. Not happy. It's the last moment of life. This does not belong to me. They bought this with their blood. It's a little bit of life. I must give it to someone trustworthy. Thank you. Even if he survived, where is there to go? We had nowhere. The only thing we ever knew was the snow. Lungmen is not Ursus. We came, desperate to save our people and the affected, looking for a warm place, food and shelter. That's not Lungmen. From the beginning, it should not have been Lungmen. The people of Lungmen are also struggling to eke out a living. We should have gone back to Ursus, our homeland. Snow, a peaceful river, pine forest gently swaying, the turquoise moss. This world, it's beautiful. So I think Tallulah is the one who orchestrated it all. If I'm right, the plot is ready to unfurl. Even if old man Boltrakasti could stall it for a while, Tallulah would have a way to deal with him. Lungmen can't do anything, and all Ursus can do is watch. But we're still here, and the infected still have a chance, even if only a small one. Go put an end to Tallulah. Stop her madness and don't let Reunion swallow up any more infected. Reunion doesn't need Tallulah. I need Tallulah. Or I could make a selfish request. Go save her. No, go help her, along with our countless fellow infected. The real one, walking on muddy earth. Tallulah. Frostnova. Go ahead. I think your father really loves you. Just like you remember your birth parents dying for you. Remember clearly all that your father did for you. Okay, no, it's just, he's going to outlive me. How much better would I have been if he never adopted me? That way, he wouldn't have to feel all the pain I brought him. He suffered so much. It's because he has suffered so much that he cherishes you. Doctor, I could call you that, can't I? Dr. Rhodes Island, choices just might be meaningless in this world. Even so, even if the outcome makes no difference, I do want to choose for myself. I made my choice. With my own hands to take the fruit of the seeds I've sown. Frostnova's fingers grope at your face. Your fingers are warm. Strange, your face is cold. My body temperature is not so low anymore. Warm Frostnova. I'll only touch someone before I die. Cross Nova, Amy and I went to you to join Rhodes Island. I really deserve that. If you just die here now, you won't have a chance to right your wrongs. It would be rude to not give a response. Tell Amy at Dr. A. In this world, a single person is worthless. But she is absolutely not alone. From now on, I am at your side. Both of you. I would like to join Rhodes Island. Thank you. No, thank you. Your eyes remind me of someone I used to know. I met a boy who said his brother would rather go to a gallows than beg for his enemy's mercy. He was going to walk across the snowy plains. He was going to walk all of Ursus, and he did come with us. I thought he was the most idealistic person I'd ever met. But now you and Amy have changed my mind. Maybe ideals can be a kind of faith. Rhodes Island is all about fighting for shared beliefs. The original reunion was the same. Just the same. Your eyes and that boy's really do look the same. Only you're not as determined as he was. You're so much gentler. Let me go. My brothers and sisters are waiting for me. Father, I've been such a fool. Forgive me. She slips down, corners of her mouth turn up, haughty as she was when she lived. Operation Defend Lungmen is complete. I repeat, Operation Defend Lungmen is complete. Police officers are asked to inventory their equipment, report to their stations, and return to their squads within 1 business day. Members at LGD are asked to rendezvous with their squads and proceed to LGD to wait for their orders. I repeat, what are you doing here? And what's that look on your face? Nothing, it's nothing. Oh. Stop, where are you going? To see. No need to look, I've checked, there's nothing there. Is that right? Chen, it's fine, the battle is over. Out of the way, please, little Miss Swire. You saw Reunion, even Special Forces. You've exposed them all to LGD, Rhodes Island, and even the censor all at once. You stopped them. Get out of the way. You've done a good enough job worthy of the Special Infection Unit Chief. You can stop investigating. What more do you want to know? There's nothing more to know. You need to know what's going on. This business with the sewers, that's what you need to know about. You've done all you can. Take one more step and you're off to the other side of Lungmen. You can totally improve the city. We can rebuild. We can go and clear out all that stuff from the bad old days. But Chen, don't go down there. Don't look. Sense of justice, sense of duty, sense of belonging, you've nailed them all, and you look great doing it. Chen. Get out of the way. It's because you're like this that you can't look. Someone told you not to investigate the sewers, right? Someone said the same thing to me. Then why do you keep investigating? No one wants you to see this. No one. It's not true. Longman wants me to see it. This is who I am. I have to see it. Swear don't make me draw my sword. What's that smell? This. Ah, you're back. Did you catch the enemy commander, the infected known as Mephisto? Ready, dead. Dead. How did he die? Are you sure about that? Only crystalline death identification autopsy can identify the infected. Oropathy erases primary biological identifiers. You don't understand any of this, do you? Oh, wait. Where are you going? Who's that you're holding? What the hell happened down there? An infected person died. The remnants of Reunion's squad should have successfully retreated by now. I don't know if this counts as the battle the White Rabbit wanted, though I'm not sure she much cared about that in the end. Regardless, she did it. White Rabbit, you were a stubborn one. Nice win. Win my ass. If you weren't dying, we'd all be charming ice sculptures now. You survived, didn't you? You also got valuable combat experience. Experience that only comes up later, but when someone dies in front of you, they never come back. I could have saved her. Has Amy already gone to see the head of Lungmen? Yeah, probably. Just leave it to them. I don't care. Readthrough, give me a hand. Huh, why? Are you messing with me? Don't you see what's happening to me? Are you unable to stand? You look okay to me. Operator Readthrough, I kindly request that you help me up. I've lost a lot of blood and I'm hypothermic. I look intact, but I am in fact dying. Please assist me in returning to our vessel. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to be a bother. Why? Aren't you leaving Rhodes Island? No need to force yourself to work for Rhodes Island anymore. Why? Huh. In that fight, I felt the pain of the infected. It was even more frustrating and hopeless than what's going on around us. I understand the pain of the infected, and I think we can stop these things from happening. I'm thinking you haven't seen enough tragedy, Readthrough. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between you and me? You're infected. If you died in that battle back there, what's the difference between regular you and infected me? It's just a couple of dead people. Some people care whether they are elders or ancients. Some care about the country they come from. Some look at race, and others value wealth. I'm infected, but I've never given anyone the "oh, woe is me, infected people are so oppressed" crap. Nobody wants to hear it. If I got anyone here in the slums, infected or uninfected, nobody wants to hear it. The level of pain doesn't matter. I just wish we could look at the pain of the infected. Infected people are people too. It's as simple as that. I don't want people looking at me like a pitiful little animal. I'm out for even look on the level. Massacres, segregation, imprisonment, hard labor. I've seen it all, but what can I do to see the end of them? The White Rabbit did what I never could. She showed me a true death struggle. The kind of terror she would show us even if there was only a fraction of a second left. The kind of fortitude is enough to transcend any identity. If I were to go out and fight Lungmen's soulless black raincoats right now, it'd be a walk in the park compared to a White Rabbit. They're nothing. Really. I told you already, I'm dying Readthrough. But fighting to the death for what you believe in, that's a solid ending. Bottom of my bucket list. Yellow of these two. Who? Dr. A and Amia. Where's the doctor going? Off to Rhodes Island to bury the White Rabbit. Less is burial, but it's really just disposing of the body, prevent her from crystallizing, dusting, and causing secondary infections. We infected people deal with that all the time. At least as a Rhodes Island operator, I've come to trust the doctor. Readthrough, did you see the look in Dr. A's eyes? It's those eyes that what makes me trust somebody like that. Saw it. I think it's still Amia's eyes that are scarier, though. Because those two are headed in different directions. Dr. A is going to the infected crematorium, and Amia's head off to Lungmen, to a new graveyard for the infected. I finally understand why Ace says Dr. A is worth just as much as Amia and Cal. So where is Cal? Cal's wherever she's supposed to be. Okay, let's go. Since you're not going to leave Rhodes Island, I'm going to ask you one more time. Please help me out. Why don't you wait for the medics to get here? Because I'm in real bad shape. Elite operators gotta look tougher than this. You'd rather die than look uncool for a minute. Why do you say things you know will hurt me? And you know who's our support medic on this op? It's Gavio. That Gavio. She said she'd wash her hands and be right over. How you feel about getting my blood splashed in your face? Give me your hand. I don't like blood. That suggests we walk a little faster. Right. If I hadn't saved those infected children, you wouldn't have saved me, and I wouldn't have had the chance to change my mind about infected people. There's another way the infected have inspired me. Huh. You screwed it up again. What does that have to do with me saving you? Lungmen Uptown. Chief Executive's office. Hello, I have an appointment with Mr. Wei. Can you take me in? Chief Wei's last meeting just ended. Please come this way, miss. You are Amia. Amia the infected. With that, we take our leave. Until next time. What do you think? I've seen his brutal methods. This is usual on the surface, in truth you all know. People of his kind are always like that. I do understand why he's the one guarding Lungman. Infected, what are you doing here? No offense intended. This is also a guest of Mr. Wei. Not here to ask anything of Mr. Wei. Miss Amia, at least do please make yourself scarce for a moment. Your clothes, they indicate you are of Rhodes Island, working with Lungman. The infected should not stay long. Lungman has been known to devour people. Thanks for a tip, but this world isn't picky about who it eats. Oh, then I should thank you for the warning. You know who she is. What are you plotting? Mr. Wei. Oh, Miss Amy, I figured you'd come. The war was a success and Rhodes Island deserves a lot of credit. Next, Lungman will fulfill her contractual obligation to provide Rhodes Island with necessary commercial assistance, among other things. No, thank you, Mr. Wei. I was here to cancel the contract. I'm sorry. Does Rhodes Island hate the old bait and switch so much? If there is any impropriety in what I've done, please speak your mind. I will offer my sincerest apologies, Miss Amia. Mr. Wei, you always act so polite and it leaves me a little overwhelmed. But I've seen your armed forces and your plans. Don't read too much into the war, Miss Amia. This isn't a charge, is it? No, Mr. Wei, I have no power to charge you. I'm simply here to handle the most hawk formalities. Why do you want to terminate our agreement? Because I have determined that a partnership with Lungman is not a good fit for Rhodes Island. Mutual benefit is not good enough for a business enterprise. Even a business has its own development plan. Are you implying that Lungman owes something to the infected side of your business? No, Rhodes Island has never had an infected side. Rhodes Island isn't just fighting for the infected. I'm not just an infected person, I'm also part of the global community. Rhodes Island has such expertise in dealing with the infected because many of our operators are themselves infected and know the experiences and circumstances of the people. Trying to rid the land of the specter of oropathy never meant that we were fighting only for the infected. Mr. Wei, if you think we are just a simple, naive infected rights organization with armed detachment, I would be very disappointed. A grave misunderstanding. Rhodes Island fights for all of the people of this world. You, us, and them. Lungman doesn't need our help. With the termination of this contract, Rhodes Island will also leave Lungman. Rhodes Island has done its due diligence. If it's all there in black and white. When we terminate the agreement, all the auxiliary clauses lose effect along with it. Rhodes Island could take Lungman's gracious bounty as a gift. No need, Mr. Wei. We in Rhodes Island are more interested in the way our partners do business than their bounty. Mr. Wei, you have treated us as a pawn in your game from the beginning. Now that the pawn has proven its worth, our exit should be in accordance with your plans. However, Mr. Wei, go on. If it was only Rhodes Island that was being played, I would not terminate this contract. As strange as it may sound, I can understand mutual distrust between partners. It's just that we're not the only ones that Lungman is hiding the truth from. The OGD, the people of Lungman, the infected in the slums, none of them know his shady methods hidden behind the curtain. I've heard you can read minds, Miss Amia. You may assume that I can't, or that I can. Can I take your speculation as a warning rather than an interrogation? I'm not going to dictate Lungman's strategy or future plans, Mr. Wei, but I have the power to prevent any operators from participating in them. Mr. Wei, whether a Rhodes Island operator, a member of the Reunion Movement, an exile for Trobog, or a citizen of Lungman, they're all living breathing people. I don't think it's acceptable for their lives to be guided by secret machinations. I, on the other hand, believe that playing a role is far more important than whether or not one recognizes that role. No, you're wrong. Some things are for Mr. Wei perhaps too commonplace just for the average person. Quarantining an infected person is an ordinary thing, not worth discussing. But no matter how normal it is, it should not be treated as a normal thing. Simply because something has happened to us enough times, we become accustomed to it, and that makes it acceptable. That doesn't make sense. Otherwise, even if you eradicate oropathy, our conflicts will not diminish or die down. They will simply be reappropriated to imprison and torment another group of people, just no longer the so-called infected. Is this a request or simply an ideal? This is my standard. Mr. Wei, there is one more thing I must say. The living are not pawns, people are people. Do you play chess, Miss Amia? Mr. Wei, do you play black or white? Wei Yanwu, what have you done? Officer Chen, I have a guest. Officer Chen, what have you done? Was it you? No, it could only be you. It can only be you. The rat and her cunning father are at best a little ruse. Only you would dare to order this. I thought that by defeating Reunion, by reuniting all the people of Lungmen, we would eventually get through this. We could even bridge the misunderstandings between Lungmenites. I never imagined, but I should have. Once again, you reassert yourself as a master of Lungmen, as you always were. But still, how? How could you do such a thing? You tear down every obstacle. You burn everything in your path. To do what you do, you finally bow your head. I know how you all feel about the infected, but why? Why? It's not just... You don't even dare take responsibility for it. Erase the name, erase the trail, erase the order, cover all your tracks. Wei Yanwu, you and Lin should trade races. You speak without thinking. Superintendent Chen, I have no idea what you're referring to. I do hope your explanation is convincing. Okay, I'll cut to the chase then. Did you kill Tallulah's father? Officer Chen, you forced our mother to marry that cowardly man. Who put such thoughts in your head? How about you take a guess? Please watch your tone of voice. Lord Wei, who controls everything in Lungmen, suddenly realizes that secret he's been hiding for years has long since ceased to be a secret. Officer Chen, know your place. Guards. It was Tallulah who told me. Of course, everything Tallulah knew, not many people knew in the first place. You're angry because you know this could threaten your rule. That old man, that Duke of Kashi, has been in your nightmares from the very beginning. You've never felt even a little bit sorry for Tallulah, have you? Officer Chen, don't speculate on facts you are not authorized to know, and don't trust information from unknown sources. You're tired. I certainly don't trust that old Duke. He almost destroyed all of Lungmen, and he's the one who kidnapped Tallulah. So... But I remember it well. It was a sunny day. That night, there was no moon, only a few stars. The old man grabs Tallulah and stands on the other side of a broken bridge. And behind you stands a crowd of people in black raincoats. I trust Tallulah. I've always trusted her. I know she can be lied to as well, of course, but look at that kind person you are. You would sacrifice anything to get what you want. Chen Hui-Chia. You want to clean up the slums, even destroy them. So many Lungmenites who trusted us. So many Lungmenites who stood behind us all along. Is it because the infected don't count as citizens of Lungmen? Because they can't afford to live in your high-rises? Or is it because the people in the slums will one day live in peace with the infected? Are you really protecting Lungmen? Aren't you the one who is a threat to the city and her people? Don't think you can throw a couple rats in front of you and get away with this. Lins wouldn't dare to do this without your permission. Miss Chen, you know nothing about what I've done for Lungmen. The thing that was always annoyed me the most about you is the attitude you have, where you squeeze everything into your own grubby mitts. If the two of you could spare even a shred of free time, I'd like to hear a message. Cal? Take a look at your terminal. I'll send details over. Okay. What? I don't recall giving permission for you to enter my parlor, Dr. Rhodes Island. I let her in. After so many years have passed, why are you still like this? Aren't you tired of hiding everything from her and doing it all yourself? Listen to our guests. We got the same message. You could have known these 3 minutes earlier. Alright, Dr. Cal, go ahead. Emily's top commander was not present when you wiped out Reunion and Lungman. It is simply because she was in Chernobog. She watched us either calmly or with great consternation, but we paid her no attention at all. And now part of Chernobog, specifically its core, is approaching Lungman. In 36 hours, the urban core of Chernobog will collide with Lungman. As a trifle, Lungman has her ways to defend against nomadic cities and warships. A measly urban core is nothing to worry about. Why, we don't even have to. Are we on the same page, Chief Wei? Has it started? Spamming out urban identification codes. No. Yes, your intuition or presumption is correct. The urban core has been beaming codes nonstop. All of Lungman's cities have already been hit. The codes claim the city belongs to Ursus. Man. Oh, yeah, welcome back. Holy crap, that was, jeez. That was, oh, man. I don't even know, read the, oh, yeah, I missed your message there. Okay, yeah, I'll check them out later. Just gonna be going through this now, episode 7-1. An old monster once told me, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. I always thought that was stupid, but the guy's a monster, so maybe I do have to give this some thought. Does a bug jump into a flame to get stronger? So stupid. No, let's not talk about how dumb and weak a bug is. You know, no matter how strong a bug gets, in the end, it's still just a bug. If a bug jumps into a flame, all it proves is that the heat messed up its brain. Assuming it even had a brain, it obviously went mad. But what if it was to leap into flames? But besides proving that I'm crazy, what else would that prove? I'd come out a bit charred, but how would that make me any stronger? But we're talking about death here, and what does an undying monster know about death? Alas, such is the nature of bitter death that none may resist. You still talk to me. That's just... Thought you were totally caught up in your plan to destroy Longman, Tallulah. W, you haven't given anyone notice of your visit. Huh, oops, my bad. I've been a mercenary for too long. Forget all about that, reporting every detail of my life to the boss thing. Sorry, leader. But you know, I can't go all the way up to the top of the command tower, so I have to ask you to stoop to my level. Your sarcasm isn't doing us any good, W. Reunion needs the might of the sarcasm, and we should strive not to add any more personal conflicts between us. Just calls us devils. Only a bleeding hearts and self-righteous call us sarcas. Us mercenaries, we know exactly what we are. Strange, devils, the inferior race of the banished. You mercenaries cannot accept this definition, nor will you take pride in it. Duh, but your people started calling us devils, not as a hate thing or because it was catchy or whatever. Devil is a fear thing. You people called us that because we scare you. So us mercs like being called devils because we know exactly what it really means. We always make good and ensure anyone left alive takes the subtext straight to heart. Oh, sorry. Me yapping on about this is like trying to show off in front of an expert, isn't it? We're a no-name merc squad famous for brutality, but compared to you, why that's like a worm trying to go up against a crab. After all, leader, nobody scares people better than you. Fear, inflict terror upon your enemies and provide warmth for your friends. To strike fear into our enemies and bring hope to our comrades. That is the way Reunion has always done things. So driving Ursa's core city into Lungmen is also in line with a certain comrade's ardent wish. Our warriors are still bravely fighting inside Lungmen. They need our assistance, and we will bring it to them. The infected inside Lungmen require hope. Our warriors have expressed their earnest desire to be that source of hope. Everyone wishes harmony. Everyone's wishes find harmony here, and the responsibility to see those wishes come to fruition belong to us, Reunion. So also bring benefits to Sarkaz, I assure you beyond doubt. What your kind seeks is not hope, so I will provide you with profit. Sarkaz mercenaries like you scattered between various cities, states, as well as those who pull your strings. You will drink deeply of the chaos between cities and countries, and it will nourish you. After Lungmen, no nomadic city is safe. Your kind will find more room to expand and thrive, and your people will prosper. Oh, it sounds like a good deal. Just going off of the profits, I'm totally on board. Tell me, W, what doubts do you still have? None. You've made a great case. Want a standing ovation. No need. Now let's talk about my mission. Bad news is I failed. I didn't bring it back my target, and she wouldn't give me the thing. That is not your fault. The kinship between Misha and Skullshatter was bound to lead to uncertainties. Why'd you send me to grab that scientist's daughter then? It seems like you didn't even need her or her secrets for your big plans. Between the attack on Lungmen and firing up the core city, what was the point of her anyway? The authenticity of the key still has to be verified. I can personally verify that we've activated the core city, but Reunion still needs full control over the way it stops, and that's where this key comes in. Mephisto told me the OGs found an abandoned city was the real deal. No, W. Mephisto would not tell you that. It would only be you spilling secrets to Mephisto while talking about extracting the information you want from him. So is that bit of news true or not? You're not interested in hearing my justifications, but you also don't plan on offering yours either. I have my own channels, and might be a little more frank than I used to be. Oh, but I guess I could have mixed up my sources. Something like that. W, if you want me to be more transparent, I can explain to you the details of my plan, all of them. Skull Shatter in your first operation tested the LGD's response speed, allowed us to adjust our strategy and improve upon our plans to take down Lungmen. Without your cooperation, we could not succeed. The key did not truly exist and was lost upon Misha Zeph. The key that Patriot sought was only a backup plan to deal with the situation. I won't force you to tell me where your information comes from, but my explanation should convince you. Alright, but later I want you to know how many keys there are. Won't ask any more questions after that, yeah? 2. Sergei Real Chernobog's scientists held one of them and delivered it to Misha using special means. The other was held by Count Boris, former mayor of Chernobog. During our attack, he broke off a city plate to flee. However, he was unable to escape the catastrophe. The ruined satellite city. Our undercover agents at city have kept everything there that we need. We can lure LGD into ambush given the proper distance. We have sufficient reason to capture an abandoned city, and the best use of it is to occupy and turn it into a stronghold. Really good at explaining things, leader. I'm all out of questions. I'm not asking too many, am I? Sorry to make you waste so much time explaining it all to me. W, if openness can resolve the misunderstanding between us, I won't be stingy with my time. In order to ensure a relationship of long-term mutual benefit, I will continue to draw upon our future plans. Hopefully this can slightly increase the trust between us. We will need to support each other to have a chance at overcoming the troubles to come. Really, I'm touched. Of course. Never liked this woman. The Tulio they talk so nice about in private is so insanely boring, and this Tulio talking to me right now is just another lying bastard. Oh, not to say there's anything wrong with lying. I lie a lot. Nothing stronger than a well-placed lie, except maybe a bomb. Truth is like a cup of water. What good does it do when the whole house is on fire? But when I lie, I know I'm lying. I chew up my thoughts and spit them into ears. This she-dragon, though she lies so natural, it's like it's like the words that come out of someone's mouth. Doesn't matter who she's talking to. It's not just tweaking a couple points to cover up her plans. She takes on a totally different form, turning into something to trust more, telling them what they want to hear. Reunion's most beloved figure is, of course, the leader Tallulah, standing here with me. She's a businesswoman, a trader. With Patriot, she turns right into a warrior woman. She'll show her true face one day, but not everyone will live long enough to see it. Besides, does she even have a true face? Is she an onion? You keep peeling off layer after layer until you realize there's nothing inside. I mean it. She's acting honest as an Iberian nun just a minute ago. She lifts her hand slightly. Huh, I know that trick. Right now she's like a cunning Savra after a lifetime of raiding and killing. Something pulls away the air in front of me, and in a split second it'll melt away my whole body. Don't tell me you're ready to kill me after a little bit of teasing. Nobody has ever figured out the formless things Tallulah throws around, but I know exactly what they do. Ruins, debris, things lose even their most basic structure. It's just like a fire without light. I am her prey. I should have known. Kinda obvious, Dragon Lady. Though Tallulah wouldn't have shown her cards this early. Waiting to die or plopping down some long-winded monologue before the end just isn't my style. I never thought about dying, at least not now. A small device I tossed out moments earlier while I was talking falls to the ground and blooms into a ball of flame before me. A wave of heat rushes towards me. Luckily, the comforting warmth isn't hers. I'm no arts expert. In my experience, 99% of arts are no match for this pure black burst of energy. Explosions, heat, shrapnel, shockwaves, it's an equalizing force that tears apart any enemy, or me. I just need to draw out the stalemate a little bit longer, until all the seeds I planted finish blooming. You're such a hard worker, Tallulah. You went through all the trouble to play out a sitcom with me. I knew it. You really would make a great actor. This Dragon Lady, I don't really hate her that much, do I? Those who don't know how to deceive cannot tell lies, and thus are not liars, and she is a monster soaked in lies. She doesn't need to lie. No wonder I get kinda scared when I see her. I don't hate her, but I might really be afraid of her. And fear breeds caution. If you got your guard up, you're prepared. Your little tricks are actually able to neutralize my regime arts. I might have underestimated you. This little trick took me hours to put together. Show some respect, huh? If a little bit of your fire was all it took to make me roll over and die, what kind of devil would follow me? You came prepared. You planned to attack me from the very beginning. You made the first move, Dragon Lady. Are you trying to torture me because I'm a pain, or do you want me to shut up because I've seen through you? To punctuate my sentence, a wave of heat surges from her fingertips and leaps towards me. Man, this dragon bitch just won't let me have any fun. I bend my waist and drop in an exaggerated roll, making it look like I'm tying my shoes. Uh-oh. Aim better next time. W, your dirty tricks have been exposed. You're now an enemy of Reunion. Why do you oppose me? This is certainly of no benefit to you. Why? Why do you think this was my idea? I sure as hell didn't want us clawing at each other's faces soon. Fact of the matter is, you attacked me first. Trying for a little shock and awe, huh? I guess I have no choice then. I just have to kill you before you kill me. Your insanity has deepened your blind confidence. Lying to me is no big deal. I don't really care who you lie to, how many people you kill, or how many people you lie to. But Dragon Lady, you regret lifting a finger against me. Am I the kind of person who says stuff like this? Maybe I'm really losing it. Can't even call it insanity at this point. Seems more like sentimental than anything else. I guess it really fucked up. See, pretending to be crazy and stupid has us all fooled. Turns out I misunderstood your character this whole time. So considerate of others. What a lovely little devil you are. Such a colorful character. As lovely as you are, of course, but you'll be even cuter once I rip your tongue out. Can't have it lolling around. Do you think your little traps are enough to kill me? Of course not. Never mentioned I set a trap. Better wash your feet. Might be a trap. Say, how many do you want? How many do you have? Pitiful thing. My flames have found you. You will pay for your betrayal. Oh, creepy. What's the matter with you? Who are you talking to with that tone of voice? You. Now you hate these words, W. You also hate me for pointing out your purpose. Oh, thank you. Thanks for being so considerate of my preferences. You think you can rile me up with the right phrasing. And like my purpose, how many people you plan to kill has nothing to do with me, Dragon Lady. What do you know about me? You've got like 80 different plots within plots going on within that noggin, and you're gonna guess what's mine. Want to prevent me from using a core city attack Lungman. Oh. You simply want revenge. You would not have chosen this moment. If you wanted to kill me, W, you could have waited until both Lungman and I are both incapacitated. That would have been a wise move. Trying to talk me into giving you information was another cover. A mercenary leader who cares nothing for the direction of reunion would not ask me. Leader of reunion about my plans. No, I won't kill you as long as you put aside your interest in this war. Do that and I'll spare your life. I'm fond of you, W. You're good comic relief, and I have no desire to execute a harmless harlequin. However, a madwoman who will still use any methods available to kill me has no right to judge good and evil, let alone claim to understand my plans. Are you really as violent and insane as the performances you put on suggests, W? Would you shut up already? You are not. You want to stop reunion. You want to stop the attack on Lungman. Those are your intentions. W, you're all too easy to read. I didn't even need to make any plans to investigate you. You came here wearing your heart on your sleeves. It's a load of bullshit. I'll turn you into a puddle of gore and have someone dump you down the wasted chute, assuming there's anything left. Press the button on the device in my hand. A simple iridium detonator switch, remotely operated chained explosions. Blazing light of destruction makes a deliriously pungent aroma. Waves of heat carrying fragments of debris, overturning everything in front of me, just as I planned. Everything reduced to cinders, even the most thick-skinned sarcasm. Wait, didn't I have a detonating mechanism for explosives? Why did she plant her sword in the ground? Was this your trap? Try me, W of the sarcasm. Try again. Hold on, you. No fire, no burning. The hundreds of iridium explosives I painstakingly twisted into the steel foundations of the city are all gone. Where are the explosions, the heat, the shrapnel? Nothing. The place where I planted iridium is deformed, melted, and warped. Drips of iron and burnt oil paint covering it gives me off nasty smell, but that's it. My shrapnel, my blast waves, my light show, it's not going to happen. The cataclysm that I pictured in my mind a million times over isn't going to happen. The cunning dragon lady must have poured her arts into her sword and channeled it deep into the steel beneath us. The heat radiated to each of my traps, melting them away. You figured it out. So smart, W. World-ending explosion from all directions that should have blown her into a billion little pieces. Nothing but a little wet fart. Alright, I've been thoroughly played. Dragon Lady, you're not half bad. Was this result also part of your plans? Let me guess, your backup plan is you show me an improvised suicide bombing spectacle, isn't that right? Let's not waste each other's time. Don't get too cocky. Little girl, say, are you even the same person? Right now, even I don't really want to know. Don't need you to define me. Choose your death. Die by my flames, be thrown from the city walls, or be run through by my sword. Can you really finish me off? Steel must endure 1,000 trials in the forge before it can become a sword. A sword is destined from birth to be a weapon. But you are just a mortal shell that has not yet died. That would be an honor. To be impaled by this sword. Would I be the first one? Unfortunately, you'll have to accept second. Now, if we're talking people I've blown up, you will. Wouldn't even have a number. Am I going to die? I guess so. What's so bad about death? There are so many things worse than dying. So when you feel like you're done for, as long as you've prepared for stuff worse than death, you will even manage to surprise yourself. Now I think it's about time I blow this joint. You blew yourself apart right in my hands. I thought you'd be more afraid to die. Though your defection didn't surprise me, you yourself did. Surprise me a little. You had some potential as opening act of a farce. Hope your death was painful enough, W. Victoria. After a battle with 31 hours until impact, 6:30 p.m. Leader. Sir, your return gives me great peace of mind. Formalities unnecessary. There was a battle here just now. It was between me and W who tried to assassinate me. Don't worry, I'm fine. From the reports I received, she was already showing signs of rebellion when she occupied Chernobog. She made her own decision and let the enemy escape, instigated a sarcasm mercenaries' rebellion, and murdered her superior. These series of actions were likely caused by outside political forces. Where is she now? She should have stood trial. She detonated explosives hidden around her body and fell into a core area. I will dispatch someone to search for her body, sir. You need not worry yourself. That does not concern me. And her sarcasm, what of them? I would deal with it. Now that the core city is steadily moving on track, I'll need to stabilize the situation immediately. Either this core city was activated, without my knowing why. Even the comms have been broken. We're out of options. Ursus may attack Chernobog at any time and slaughter our compatriots. For their sake, we must take down Lungman. Right now, all energy must be used to support the operation of the core city, and we have no excess power to support tuning the ingoing and outgoing channels. The regime left behind by our catastrophe is so potent that we cannot endure it. The order to recall you exhausted the last of our backup supply. Now there is only one place that can provide us with enough refined iridium. Even if the time is tight, please discuss with us. What you say may be correct. I'm sorry, sir. I should have given it more thought. But what's done is done. This key, how will you use it? It can stop the city. The city can be stopped. Many things once started will not stop. So I'm trusting this key with you. You decide when we stop. I apologize for giving such an arbitrary command. You seem more subdued today than usual, sir. Now I will go to guard the core city. Someone will attack. They will try. I will stop them. Excuse me, sir. Crown Slayer, Frostnova, Mephisto, and False are still waiting for our help. We must not let any outsiders interfere with our plans. Hulula. What's the matter, my champion? Leader. Any evil, no matter how great, will always come to an end. This I firmly believe. Yes, I share the same conviction. Goodbye, leader. Go, Patriot. To end this war and regain statues of the infected, we will crush all enemies standing in our way. What's this? A kind of sarcastic talisman. 2 pieces. This one for you, the other I will keep. What are these for? It's a bit heavy. It can keep you safe. You still believe in those weird sarcastic things. What's the point of this? Let me finish. Sure. This talisman can withstand torture. Mortal wounds, destroyed organs, no. But the consumption of life it can withstand. Until it breaks. If yours break, mine will tremble. And I will go save you. What if both pieces break? Aren't you saying anything? Fine, I'll hang on to it. Good. I'm obviously going to outlive you, so just do your own thing. Help who? End what war? My talisman, it too has broken. You killed W. What are you going to do now? Liberate you. You will no longer need to bow before sarcasm. All that you desire I shall grant you. What exactly is that? War. No longer will you have to endure the foul taste of slaughtering the weak. No longer will you have to waste your efforts like a pebble hitting a rock. I will give you a truly equal war. Sarcastic wandering devils. What I will grant you is not only the fear of your victims, I will reforge your blood, your flesh, your steel, and the shame of countless generations of your ancestors. I will grant you slaughter, and I will grant you death. A new era has arrived, and war shall reign supreme. Are all sarcasts who wish to taste all that is this new era has to offer, step forward. Who would you have all of us kill? Oh, my throat. Oh, my throat is. Oh my god, yeah. Holy crap, I need a hydration break. Holy. Oh, holy crap, dude. I need to stretch, dude. Holy crap, it was so long. Rip W. Oh man. Okay, 7-2 now. $6:30 p.m. Number 00000-00002, clearance level 8. Dr. A, thank you for visiting the Rhodes Island Integrated Bioprocessing Unit. Your intentions have been determined through analysis of available biological data. In addition, the system detects that you are in a bad mood. And what would count for a good mood? Good and bad are subjective judgments. However, the system has collected nearly all documented states of mental activity, as well as hormonal criteria for various states of neurological excitement. So you could argue that this system's subjective judgment is substantially closer to objective truth. Therefore, no matter what actions Dr. A may take, the system will still be able to process it to some degree. Which is to say, you may do as you wish. PRTS is equipped with a non-lethal pacification function. Should you take unreasonable action, you will lose consciousness for 3.55 working hours, ensuring you maintain a behavioral standard close to normal. Welcome home, Doctor. It's really be called home. Are you Dr. A? Oh, hello? It's you, I'm sure of it. I can feel it. You're a little more different. But the person you're holding, that uniform, can I ask who's that you're holding? A friend. She's your friend, but you barely know her at all. I don't know, this might disappear soon. What do you feel? Traces of people communicating with each other. Smell, warmth, shape? I'm not sure, but she. Girl reaches out to Frostova. No. You don't want me to do that. No, I'm an outsider. I don't know her. I can't do this, can I? I'm sorry. I'm having trouble understanding you. The other operators say that too. There are a lot of big personalities at Rhodes Island, but I might be weird, even for them. You want to use this machine. If this is indeed the final resting place of infected. It is. Just a second, let me check the log. Yes, they cleaned this cabin already. Put her in this slab. Easy now. There. The slab will slide in there and wait for it to close and finally press this button. Really familiar with it. Oh, I've had to use it a lot. Why? It's where all of Rhodes Island's infected end up. If I knew them, if I felt them, if they were my teammate, I always take care of them myself. The original manual was really complicated, but I wrote down how to use it in my terminal. Just a quick look, I could feel it. Feel what? It's like a chain. A chain. Or I could say it's like seeing the links between people. Sending off the people tied to you means untangling the lines around them. The other ends of the threads are still tied to us, but even when one side's gone, the threads don't hang down. Feels like you've lost something inside yourself. Something you didn't know was there, but knowing it won't come back. Why would you want to feel that? Because you know a feeling, it won't suddenly sting you, right? So then you... Excuse me. Identifier for Rosmontis, elite operator present in Rhodes Island Integrated Infected Bioprocessing Unit will expire in 15 minutes. I will update you momentarily. Stand in place for about 15 seconds. In addition, there is a skirmish taking place by a starboard hull. If possible, please assist after updating your identification code in order to reduce resource consumption. Okay, I'll go do that. I'm making a note of it in my terminal. Reminding you for a 6th time, if you would allow me to access the system, it could send the information directly to you. No. I'm the only one who can use this. Understood. Elite operator. PRTS means me. Should I call you Rosmontis? Yes, Rosmontis. What about her? I think I should at least know her name. Frostnova. Frostnova. A good name. Hello, Frostnova. Bye-bye. Dude, my depressed cat daughter and other depressed daughter. The emotional damage, dude. I'm in shambles. William Wu's office, 6:30 p.m. Correct, Mr. Wei. 32 hours from now, Decor City will collide with Longman. Its urban identification code has not been changed, which means that the core of Chernobyl, this nomadic city, is still Ursa's territory. So attacking it would be an act of war. Reunion holding Ursa's hostage like this is the height of absurdity. You're unreasonably calm, Mr. Wei. Did it maybe occur to you that what a peace-loving country the Empire is? Ursa's expansionism is driven by a lust for wealth, territory, and growth. If it was profitable, the Empire would start a world war without second thought, and they would have done it decades ago. But to provoke a war with Yan, the fact that Yan has not waged war for centuries does not mean they lack the capacity to fight, but I'd say a militaristic state might still struggle to understand what it is that's led to Yan's prosperity. A world war would leave both sides devastated. Yan would need a long time to recover, but Ursus with its myriad internal conflicts would take it even harder. Ursus is no longer a world-devouring beast it was once. It once was. Only fools and madmen would wage a war that is costly, unprofitable, and doomed to fail. Mr. Wei, as far as I know, fools and madmen are dime a dozen nomadic cities of the world. Weeding out such people is one of the most important duties, and it's a function of the City Council of Ursus. Once the State Council responds, it will implement measures to put a stop to the Chernobyl core. The diplomats will handle the rest. Our only responsibility is to take control of this crisis before it gets out of hand. You have that much faith in the Empire? No, I have faith in mutual interests. Fighting war after war teaches a better lessons. And even though Ursus has won a lot of riches from its wars, it has been unable to fight the internal rot these years have bred. It has not been able to integrate the people in its lands it has conquered, and no nation can handle rebellion while choking down the person brewed by mutual crisscrossing hate of its own populace. The Empire of Ursus is a rotting core posturing to look strong. And that is why you believe Ursus will act in its own interest and abide by their deal with you. I have no deal with the chairman of the State Council, verbal or otherwise, but the two of us have about the same amount of sanity left. Fumizuki, send a message for me. I have to make use of this time. Fumizuki, there is another message here for you. Dr. Cal, Amiya Chen, you should hear this too. Fumizuki, you will change your mind when you hear this. I don't think so. If you reject their help again, we will truly be isolated. Chief Wei, you must act immediately upon receiving this message. What? That's my messenger. The following has been arts encrypted. Mr. Wei, groups 3 and 4 are standing down. We are unable to get to the source of the matter. I can't even speculate on who the mastermind might be. They were whispering from the parliamentary gallery, laughing at my miserable, hopeless performance, but I found no evidence to hold them accountable. If something happens in Chernobog, you must do everything you can to stop it. Otherwise, who knows what will happen. You have the wisdom and ability to stop it at its source. What we could not do, you must do in our stead. That's the end. I want to hear the rest. The rest is a messenger's soliloquy. He's my messenger. Let me hear it. I was able to meet Chairman Wheat and the messenger he has sent to Elias with me was waylaid by unknown forces. Fortunately, that messenger is still safe and sound. The messenger slipped out of deity Greiferberg in the dead of night, and someone secretly aided him. I believe there are forces in Earth vying for supremacy. I was attacked many times on the road after that, and there were many others who tried to protect me. We tried to help them. I reached the Earl Rift and commanded a messaging station. What happens now, even I don't know. I hope to make it back to Lungmen to enjoy the flavors of home once again. How is he now? Unclear if he is alive or dead. It sounds like the chairman of the State Council plans to stand by and see how this plays out. The State Council is at the heart of the Empire, but Chernobog is out on the periphery now. The borderlands mostly belong to the army and some of the remnants of the ancient nobility. The army hasn't had a chance to engage in such operations since the Great Rebellion, but the infected did. The ancient nobility, closely watched as they were, couldn't have planned the Chernobog incident, but the infected could. Indeed, most of the reunions infected had no training. They didn't stand a chance against the Ursa's guard and the Chernobog riot police. But catastrophe did. Chernobog failed to split the plates in time, and there was nothing it could do against the catastrophe. Reunion had to infiltrate the city early to stop the security forces from mobilizing, while the army ignored them maneuvering. Lungmen and Rhodes Island anticipated Reunion's action, and the LGD made a plan to annihilate them, but Chernobog, even to this day, Chernobog and the Ursa's court haven't said a word. Now we know why. Writing off the city and all its inhabitants, Ursa's handed Chernobog over to Reunion, and the infected who have lied so long on the threshold of death that they no longer fear would assume control of the city after a catastrophe. They didn't have to do anything, they just got out of the way. They only had to let it happen. But after suffering a catastrophe, Chernobog was just a dead city with nothing of value, which left the infected heading for Lungmen. No matter who's running Reunion, all the elements were perfectly aligned. Give the order. The sensors must stand down. Use force if necessary. We will prepare for war. We must be absolutely certain we can disable that core before it's too late. And no one's to know of this until a Chernobog core is stopped. Mr. Wei, you're going to start the war yourself. Fumizuki, you've seen all Lungmen has been through. You must know, my brother wouldn't stand for me starting a war with Ursus. I must take the initiative. We must take control of the situation, even if it costs all of Lungmen. Starting a war means being seen as an aggressor. It makes it more difficult to forge alliances. The first one to enter a state of war is likely to find itself isolated. But the worst part is no one can know the truth until after war is over, wherever it might be. Some countries don't even care about the truth. All they want is an excuse. With Mr. Wei, I believe we can achieve peace through diplomatic means. Thank you for your suggestion, Madam Cal. But I'm afraid Wit and I are our last hope for peace between our countries. Whether our enemy is Empire's Third Army or Emperor of Ursus, the war is going to happen eventually. Even if you are certain to win it, peace is no longer possible. It was too meek to use official channels to put a stop to this. It means he will face too much resistance and criticism for it, even if it works. He's a politician. He has to look out for himself. Having pushed him this far, the Empire's bureaucracy may be in some state of semi-paralysis. A couple of divisions can hold Ursus hostage, but not Lungmen. This is not Ursus. You're not entitled to an emergency response to another moving city. Wouldn't it be then too late to separate the city? If the core is not stopped, the collision will destroy Lungmen, and the conflict that follows will cause further unfathomable disaster. But stop the core. Firing our guns or sending a spec ops team would indeed mean a declaration of war on Ursus. Anything Wit might have been able to stop has been cut completely loose by a Chernobog core. Isolated city, cut off from all communication, left with nothing but identification codes, needs very little explanation. As you say, Doctor, it's up to Lungman now. Only we can stop the Chernobyl core. Think carefully, Dr. Wei. There are serious consequences to an act of war. War is serious business, but the other choice, as far as Lungman is concerned, would be far worse. Mr. Wei, Rhodes Island. I'll go. Oh, Miss Chen. Chen. I'll take care of it. You're a Lungmanite. I can't leave Lungman. Superintendent Chen, don't play the hero. This isn't your responsibility. If Lungman needs a traitor, let it be me. I'm sick of you, Wei Yanwu. You and your precious city. I stopped being a Lungmanite even before you dug your claws into the slums. Now is not the time for a debate on ethics. What did you do? Why'd you have to do that to him? What did they do? Tell me, Miss Chen, what did they do? Tell me, where was it Reunion hid themselves? Where was it they snuck into our city? You trust the slum dwellers, but do they trust you? Where did that trust come from? Have any of them, aside from your informants or Lin Koji's ears, reported infected infiltrating their homes? Things happen so fast, doesn't mean anything. Did you receive even a single tip? Yes or no? No. Not one. Not a single person stepped up. They don't trust you. They would rather put their faith in foreign provocateurs than the Rat King or the superintendent of the LGD. Maybe Reunion was threatening them. Reunions infected are known to be violent and dangerous. They forget that Lungman has ever raised a hand against them. I don't blame them for supporting each other. In fact, if the infected didn't support each other, if they hate each other instead, the slums would have long since destroyed themselves. They could have opposed Reunion. They could have come together with Rat King's people to fight the infiltrators. They could have asked for your help. They don't trust. Exactly, they don't trust you. After all you've done for them, they still don't trust you. We should have sent the LGD into the slums long ago. It was the locals who didn't want the LGD in the slums. They were the ones working against my LGD time and time again. Even as Link Kajui and I worked so hard to root out the criminals and foreign agents from the slums, it was those same locals who scoffed at sacrifices of our soldiers. Was it Lungman that rejected them? Answer me, Miss Chen. Look me in the eyes and answer me. It's not their fault. Then whose, pray tell, is it? How many times have I told you, you have the right to your own thoughts and opinions, provided you don't let them affect your work. The LGD is here to protect the Lungman. The Special Inspection Unit is here to guide the LGD to protect the Lungman. The slums you've done so much for have become a vulnerability that could lead to Lungman's destruction. Reunion exploited the infected among them to distract us, letting our guard down to Chernobyl. The measures we took to fight off Reunion left us open to maneuver by the core city, and those affected stood by and did nothing. If Lungman fails here, it is ultimately by their hand. No. They should have held responsibility for turning Lungman into Flashpoint. Who is it responsible for lives lost and blood spilled? So much destruction over a few neighborhoods just because we didn't act in time. When you say act, do you mean? Whose fault was it? Was it Lungman that rejected them? No. It was they who rejected Lungman. He disposed of them. Indifference and a lack of vision already destroyed them. I have no reason to care for these people anymore. Chen, we are all tainted with our innumerable mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. All we can do is fix them or cover them up for a while. There's always someone who can do that, but I can't. But for now, I still have things to do. Everyone makes mistakes. I know what you're saying. The infected are a mistake as long as they exist in the city. Pig-headed girl. Superintendent Chen, I've told you everything. Now do what you must. Alright then. What I must do, what the LG must do, is name who is at fault and correct the mistake. It seems that according to your definition, I am at fault. We could also say I am the mistake, because I am infected. You, Chen. Madam Chen. There's no need to hide it anymore. For 3 years you've been hiding my infection from the world. Not the infected have no place in the city, neither do I. Nonsense. She and I are both infected. I don't belong here. I know what I must do, and I won't be making any more mistakes. I'm the only one who can stop her. Don't feel bad. I understand. We're sworn brothers, aren't we? Brothers. Remember where we came from. Sworn brothers ruined. I'm infected and a traitor to Lungmen. I am the only one who can do this. I hate you and I hate them. I should love you, but right now I hate every last one of you. Blood relations ruined. You've come this far, all we can do is keep going. Why me? Why does it have to be me? Who could feel safe staying here? Close family ruined. No, if you leave this office today, Chen Huixie, you will be an enemy of Lungmen, and you will never be allowed to set foot in the city. And all that we've worked for together for the past 10 years will come to nothing. Everything I worked for came to nothing as soon as you did what you did. Lungmen is about to go up in flames. The battle is upon us, you have your ways, I have mine. The only difference is that I'm not like you. I don't think anyone is a mistake. I won't let this city fall, but I won't go in without a plan either. Power is a tool at the end of the day. If you are going to use this tool to tinker with the world, you have to conform to its expectations. Don't make a mockery of yourself, Inspector Chen. Laugh at that and you're laughing at yourself. I raised you to change it. I hope you would change this world to want more prosperity and growth. So has it changed? Can it change? Does everything I work for actually mean anything? Even if I can't now, it must be someday. You're going to make sure it can be changed. Wait, stop. Who are you? You can't go in there. Security. Where are the guards? There's an intruder. Lord Wei, we will act. Get out. Let us act. You shouldn't have come. Haha, Wei and Wu, that's all it took to show your true colors. Your private army just shows up in here in your office. Madam Chen, Lungmen is threatened. Sounds like you have a strong sense of duty. I don't believe a word you say. If you have something for him, go ahead. Lord Wei, it is within our means to infiltrate the city, kill the mastermind, and stop the collision. We shall sacrifice our lives for the city and lift this burden from thy shoulders. Get out. Lord Wei. How about Wei and Wu? Will you send them or send me? Is that a tough choice? Why is it you're so decisive when it comes to killing people and you're so indecisive when it's time to save them? That's how it is now. That's how it was then. I didn't expect a chance at a proper goodbye. I thought about it many times, Wei and Wu, but I never expected to give anyone a proper goodbye. Miss Fumizuki, I'm sorry my mom treated you like that. Thank you for looking after me all these years. I've always thought of you as family. Chen. Superintendent Chen. Not anymore. This badge, you can have it back. Caesar. You want to fight here first to decide who's the real traitor. Superintendent Chen, the enemy is at our gates. I'm infected, I'm your greatest enemy. Cease and desist, or I will show you no mercy. Have you ever shown mercy? Don't sound all high and mighty about things you can't do. Lord Wei, look out. Chi Xiao Rouse Chi. Brother, if this sword is used to slay dragons, does it work on Dracos? It just might. Looks like I'll have to be more careful around you. Her arts are overflowing. Doctor, get behind me. I'll block the arts. No, it will just get torn apart by that kind of power. She's not aiming for us. Get out of her range right now. Okay, her arts are beginning to expand. Back up. Release. The dragon slaying sword unsheathed. You can block it with just your wrist. Most astute. I see your swordsmanship is sharp than ever, Superintendent. Tempered iridium. Chi Xiao, huh? To think that they're still making weapons like that. Doctor, is that sword specifically fortified against energy-based arts? At first, Madam Chen didn't even let me look at that sword. Was she envisioning a situation where I would be an enemy? Out of my way. Lord Wei, the superintendent has chosen her path. I may not be able to block a second blow. Shall I put my life on the line? Through my death, I assure that Inspector Chen will remain in Lungmen. Though I cannot guarantee she'll have her limbs intact, I can ensure that she lives. Impermissible. You fall back. Don't engage her directly. I shall immediately alert my brothers. Planning to call reinforcements. Chi Xiao. Cease. Pray Che, are you going to use that cloud-spitting sword? Don't forget who taught you your swordsmanship and your arts. I never once thought to strip you of your swordsmanship, but I will no longer play nice at this point. Don't force my hand, Chen Hui Che. Do it, Master Wei. Chi Xiao answers to me. The day you gave me Chi Xiao, did you think I would slay you? I won't use it to spill your blood, Wei Yanwu. You think you're protecting me, right? My mother died to depression. Tallulah was taken away. I contracted oropathy in the course of my work. You think everything you've done was for the sake of protecting me, don't you? Is that because of your guilty conscience or because of your confidence in your own strategies? I don't want to witness another tragedy again. Liar. Wei and Wu, these are those who this sword seeks to kill, and those who it seeks to protect. If she truly wishes to destroy Longman. No, you must not go. I never thought I would beat you and your black cloaks here. But there's more than one way out of here, Wei and Wu. The window. Chen Huiche, stop this foolishness. We're hundreds of meters above the ground. This wouldn't be the first time I've ever used a window route, or the second. Chen Huiche, you must not go to her. Chen, you mustn't repeat the same mistakes. You can't go down the same path you did. If there's anyone who should die for the city, that person should be Uncle. No, Wei and Wu, starting today we are strangers. Sound of glass smashing echoed across the room, and Chen falls face up from the tall building. Lord Longman let out a thunderous roar, and the man in the black poncho leapt toward the window like an arrow springing from his bowstring. But Chen had already made up her mind. At this rate, I can't even. Oh my. At this rate. How long is this gonna take? Holy crap. Oh, dude, my throat's gonna be so dead. Holy crap. This was just a before section. Oh. Wait, no, the through is right. I think I did. Oh, no, right. Oh, I think it said actually. Holy. Oh. Oh. Uptown Longman, 7 p.m. dusk. The secret arrest warrant for Chen, sir. It's gotta be a mistake. There's no way. Hey, get back here. Ask if this was a mistake or not. Damn it, Chen, sir. What the hell? Who's behind this? I have to find her. I have to hear her side of the story. Yes, I understand. Anything else, master? No, go on and do what I told you for now. When you're finished, go find somewhere to lay low for a while. Got it. Now go hurry. It turns out there really is someone who can outplay Wei and Wu. Tallulah, is that really just fate? Oh, young master, if you could see us now from up there, you also would not wish to see us, would you? But alas, Longman's finally come to this. But Huiche, be careful, Huiche. You mustn't get yourself killed. Longman Harbor Dock, 7:20 p.m. Damn, there's still so many of them out there. I thought the OGD was supposed to have this area under control. Yesterday it was reunion. Today it's these weird infected. We can't hold them off, and we can't use heavy-duty weapons inside the city. Hello, operators. Is that who we're fighting today? Rosmontis, thank God. Thank goodness we're saved. They're infected who have been twisted by arts, and we can't stop them. That's right, you mostly brought defense equipment, but I never expected I'd shred through our steel cables and polyfiber nets like paper. We might have to bring in some military-grade weapons. We're at our limits here, so we have no choice but to ask for backup from the land ship. Thankfully, now that you're here, we might be able to turn the tides. Their GM structure inside makes their body incredibly tough. Use suppressing fire to keep them under control. Also, our scans aren't picking up any scans of brain activity at all. The main point there is they're pretty much already physically dead. They're just empty husks propped up by arts. It's unbelievably cruel. Whoever did this has to pay. But more importantly, at least you are all safe. Let's make a plan. I'll get them to settle down. Going to fight. Yes, but you look. Doctor, have you ever met Rosmontis before? Please stand aside, doctor. then you might want to take a step back. I guarantee you've never seen anything like this. The thing floating in the air there is your equipment. It's mine. Operator, please describe your impressions of the target. Hold on, I'll check the manual. Okay, the target's a large group of active, restless individuals. They're moving as a group with no clear objective. Their general trend is clear, but they have no set route. That should be good enough, right? Received. I'll handle this. Dr. Cal was very clear. Once we finish this, Rhodes Island is to leave Lungman immediately. Evening, old friend. Hoshiguma, what are you doing here? How about your injuries? I'm in Oni. Those scratches are long gone. Good, now Hold on, were you waiting for me here? That dune buggy you're pushing is a new model from Rim Billiton, right? Great for off-road performance, dust-proof, climbs hills with ease, incredible range and fuel efficiency, minimal environmental impact with maximum comfort. That one. Yeah, sorry, I saw that ad on Terminal a million times. Guess it got stuck in the old noggin. It's a damn good buggy, though. I'm not even into off-roading, and I'd like to get one. What are you trying to say? You look like hell, Chen. What do you plan on doing? Where do you plan on going? How'd you know I'd be here? You come here every time you want to sneak out of the city. Remember, I also know every nook and cranny of this place. The LGD issued an arrest warrant. But that's not what you're here for. Well, of course not. I know exactly what kind of person you are. It's my only way out of Lungmen. I stayed dark the whole way. If the whole LGD knew me half as well as you do, then you'd never make it out of Lungmen. Excuse me. What do you mean by that? They're just like me. They don't want you to go. Hoshiguma, are you going to stop me? Why, you of all people, Hoshiguma. Of course I am, Chen. I am an LGD inspector, and more importantly, your friend. Do you seriously plan to wander off and play the lone hero on a grand adventure? That is precisely why I cannot let you leave. You're a Lungmanite, Hoshiguma. This is our last chance. If Wei Yanwu has his way, more people are going to die. And your way is better. They call you Madam Oni. They trust you to take care of the Lungmen they love so much. Let me go, Hoshiguma. Huh. They really love Lungmen, Chen. Me, I'm old school. Comics, movies, booze, rainy streets, some guy running by without umbrella. I love my stuff retro, just not bikes. People say some stuff goes out of style quick. Chen, can we really outrun time itself? I can't, no way, it moves too fast. Chase has crushed so much of what I cared about. This is all I have left. Yellowed splotch, a tear, a dog-eared page. I've got names for them all. And it sucks. I hate how time took all these people from me. They died horrible, miserable deaths, sacrificing themselves to try to find a place in this world. But me, I simply watched them all vanish into dust. Some of them I smashed their dreams to pieces with these very two hands. They didn't love Lungmen. They simply had nowhere else to go. And in the end, that was my fault. You're not going anywhere, Chen. Ah, Fat died. All those people died for Lungmen. You're going to pretend you never saw any of that. Don't act like you knew them. They were with me a lot longer than you. I knew them much better than you. It's my duty to protect Lungmen, no matter who stands my way. It's my duty. That hasn't changed. So you're still Superintendent Chen, and who gave you this duty? I did. Is that just something you wanted to hear yourself say? Look at you. You're going to save Lungmen all by yourself. One woman against all of Reunion. Your temper tantrum won't get you that far. It's funny, you're the one who always carried out Mr. Wei's orders because you could relate with him. Now I'm the one who relates with him a bit better, and I'm the one carrying out his orders. How the tables have turned. I've seen the gist of Mr. Wei's plan. If someone has to die, Mr. Wei thinks it ought to be him. You're carrying the Chen family's blood. Once this all blows over, no one's coming after you. You mean he? Mr. Wei would rather he died than you. You give him too much credit. Maybe you don't give him enough, Chen. If he wants you to die, he's welcome to it. But what will that get us? What's the point? Will it prevent war? Will it get Lungmen out of this mess? If he dies, it'll get some of the blame off Lungmen. I think all blame will pretty much vanish into thin air, actually. You really think it'll be that easy? Nothing's ever that easy. That's why he wants you running the LGD. You get a job and be chief of the LGD sooner or later. After that, you become the boss of the entire city. There's been a lot of rot left behind, and you should be the one to clean it out. I get what Mr. Wei wants from me. Though he's been waiting for a long time, I can tell that his beliefs and his methods haven't changed from the day I met him. Lungman still needs you, and she still doesn't want you in danger. I'm just so disgusted. Mr. Wei's death may not matter to you, but once he's gone, you can't change this city. I tell you something, Oshiguma. There's a reason I don't belong here. Don't mess with me, Chen. No one's more Lungman than you. I'm infected. What? Since when? 3 years ago. You've been hiding it from me. I didn't mean to. How come you didn't even tell me? Well, we didn't want anyone to know. We couldn't have an infected LGD, so I couldn't be infected. Hoshiguma, there is no place for an infected here or anywhere else on this world. I've had enough of Wei and Wu controlling us. I'm not going to be his tool anymore. No, I get it. I finally actually get it, Chen. I know exactly why you can't leave Lungman. What? If you leave and go to that core city, Mr. Wei would have to brand you an enemy. Not just enemy, but a dangerous infected working against Lungman. The whole city would know you're infected. They might even think you're working for Union. That'll be the end of it. You'll never be able to come back. I don't care. It's my line. You're infected, I don't care. I don't care. Missy doesn't care. 9 doesn't care. The LGD doesn't care. I mean, Mr. Wei care. He wants you to change this place. He doesn't want you gone. He didn't see how ruthlessly he treated the infected. I did. And 9, she's already gone. She quit the LGD because she was infected too. 9 too. No, 9 and I might have contracted or Pathy on the same mission. She went undercover with me in Reunion, and then because of Reunion, she abandoned Lungman. Because she saw the truth of this city. But you didn't betray Lungman. I'm not letting you take the fall for a crime you didn't commit. Hoshiguma, why do you think I'm going to a core city? I'm really good at guessing games. Just get to the point. You know who's leading Reunion? I forgot her name. Tallulah. Missy didn't tell you. Tell me what? Tallulah is my sister. Oh, hi, I get it. Chen, you're not going today. Why? Is my sister, my family not important enough? That's why. That's why I can't let you go. You might have to, even if I have to die here, I'm not letting you go. It's not for you to decide, Hoshiguma. Hanya can decide. No matter what stands in my way, whether it's a catastrophe, a shield, or an Oni, I'm not giving in. Blacksmith who cast this shield and his whole family killed by a gang of wandering Onis. His fury is much more toxic than any catastrophe. Blood that stains this shield, and the tragedy it represents, is much more wicked than any catastrophe. Chen, Mr. Wei is a good man. We could kick his ass together. Whatever you want to do, I'll do it with you. You want my Colombian big single 70 VV, it's yours. Chen, now's not the time. Don't go. Don't force me to do this. It's all I ask. Force you? Why are you talking like Wei and Wu? I don't like it. When Wei did what he did, no. When he betrayed his brother, failed my mother, and put the city to sleep under his cloud of wickedness, that's when I decided to do this. You might think that stuff has anything to do with you, but I don't think so. What do you mean? What he did for you, and what you should be doing, none of it is connected. That's what Mr. Wei was hoping for. He didn't want to play the bad guy. He's not power hungry. He gave you a sword. You don't get it. Understand what? It wasn't just one time. It happened again and again and again. I destroyed my home. I destroyed my family. Covered horn to toe in blood every time. I fought the bitter end until I was the only one left standing. Because that's what I thought was right. And they were wrong. I find myself asking a lot if I really deserve to live. I don't, but I lived anyway. I just can't live for myself anymore. Putting yourself out because of some concept of right and wrong. That's the dumbest thing a person can do. I've dealt with it, the regret of my whole life. You think you're the only one who's got a lot of baggage, Miss Chen. Stop talking like that. So why can't you understand me, even a little bit? We've been through so much together all these years. There's still something you can't tell me. I got my baggage, you've got yours. We both know that. Even so, what is there you still don't understand? I never pulled any of you into this. How can you say I don't understand you? Because I've seen too many people die for nothing. I don't care who you are, I just care where you're going. I'm not letting you go. This is all on the leader of Union. You can't change the situation. You just died for nothing too. No one wants to see that. Not the LGD, not Lungman. Thank you, Oshiguma. I'm still going. Really? If you have to fight, you should know I'm not scared of you. You really have to go, huh? You feeling like your heart is hard as iron right now. I told you before, you're lost in your own thoughts. You lost sight of everything around you, of everything everyone's done for you. Your stubbornness is only gonna get you hurt. Fine, I guess you have to take a beating before you can learn. Like a young Hoshiguma, that being a stubborn ass is just a stupid impulse. If you want to fight Chen, then let's do it. Show me everything you've learned in the last 2 years. Stop talking like that. X-42 Long-Range Iridium Arts Control Device Operator Rosmontis requesting approval. Approved for use in defensive operations. Removal approved. User Annihilation Specialist Elite Operator Rosmontis activation approved. Okay, I'm going. Please tell closure for me about the Rhodes Island landship startup. Hurry, Doctor, get in the cabin. Don't watch. You get hit by Rosmontis' shrapnel, you're pretty much a goner. Oh, this is gonna kill me. Oh, damn, so... Oh my... I think I was just before. I was just in before sector. Holy 7-3 after. Oh, wait. Actually, no. This was... Wait. Oh, no. This is new. Uptown Lungman, 7:20 p.m. You're pretty serious about this. Real unexpected. Never would have thought that you'd be able to make me bleed. We have never been able to walk away from our past. Hoshiguma, you've always been a part of the city, but not me. I've always been running. I don't think I'll ever be able to stand this place. It turned into another one, though. It turned into another one of these in the end. I can't stop you. Go. Sorry, Hoshiguma. After I'm gone, please go to the slums for me. The people there are panicked and confused. Someone from the LG has to protect them. If some infected kids give you a toy bear, keep it. Eris's girl named Misha taught them how to make those bears. She died because we failed her. Okay, I will. Sorry, I'll owe you one. I don't need your apologies. Honestly, you're not good at them. Hoshiguma, I think we're done here. Go and don't come back. Take care of yourself. Can't stand this place. How many people care about the city as much as you do? Bullshit. Inspector Hoshiguma. Huh, Inspector, hurt. We could have... Oh, so we just saw... Madam Chen. Oh, that's sorry. Do you guys have a second to talk? Inspector, you're disobeying orders too. I wouldn't put it that way. Get out. Yes, Lord, wait. I told you not to call me yet. As you wish. We await your orders. Miss Cal and young Amiya, before you speak, could I have a word with him? Yes, go ahead, Miss Fumizuki. All yours. We've been together for years now, Wei Enwu. Why talk about this? Why now? One look in your eyes, I could tell what you're thinking. Fumizuki. No, I've always been able to tell. I know Lungman means the world to you. I know all that you've given to her. I know about the dreams you have for her. No, Fumizuki. Let's say, this isn't what you want, is it? Argument. I'm not referring to our current dilemma. What I mean is this prosperity that you've given everything for. You lost 2 loved ones. Actually, I think you said it was 3, maybe dozens. Surely you can bear to lose your niece as well. She loathes the Shadow Guard. If I send him to retrieve her, she will fight them to death. No, wait, that's not what I meant. What would you regret if you let them both die in some foreign city? So what if they're infected? Are they not your nieces? If you had children of our own, is this how you would treat them? All I've done for the sake of our land. I've never intended for Chen Huitre to do my work for me. But that's how she is. Keeping truth from her only deepens the cut. It only makes her feel like she doesn't belong here. Your expectations of her, they're too distant and too difficult. But can I stop at this point? I've struggled against the men behind me and the city below me for so long, and this is all I have to show for it. Would Lungmin allow me to stop? That is what she wanted, to get to the source of our problems. She wanted to change the city into something completely unlike the city under my rule. All I did was teach her how to get there, what she would have to do, and what she would have to give up. Alright, that's enough rationalizing. You're giving me a headache. I'll go bring her home myself. I won't sit back and watch her die. I'll do what you cannot. Nonsense, I won't allow it. I have plans to bring her back, and you Fumizuki are not to set foot outside this building. Oh, you stop me. Damer Yono Kono Yaro. Phew. Huh. Doctor, what did Miss Fumizuki say? It's been a long time since I've heard such angry Hiyashinese. Have you forgotten who I am, Wei and Wu? You might have my limits, Fumizuki. Have you forgotten who you are? Fumizuki. Doctor, I think. Mr. Wei might really care for Fumizuki. The same may also go for Fumizuki, maybe. Now then, on to our friends from Rhodes Island. How much will it cost for you to help Lungmin and our Chen? I'll cover it myself. You're really going to hire us like this, Miss Fumizuki? I am. It may be improper to say, but my husband is not exactly in top form today. Or I might say our opponent's plans have gone beyond anything we might have predicted, and included all that he holds dear. They have a complete understanding of both Lungmin and Wei and Wu. Fumizuki, that's enough. Heard you say that's enough. Doctor, name a price I can pay. I understand everything you've said here, Miss Fumizuki. And money won't be necessary, but I need you to hear me out. Doctor, maybe this isn't a place to say it, but if I can speak freely, Lungmin needs some outside assistance. Can I continue, Miss Fumizuki? By all means, I don't let words get to me. Nonsense. Rhodes Island is only a pharmaceutical company, but the world is a tough place. It doesn't let up on any of us, especially a pharmaceutical company like ours that tends to make a lot of enemies, be it in business, geopolitics, or otherwise. You wander cracks between countries because you had no other choice. And all the forces of the world align to put pressure on us, we need our own special methods to handle them. But if our methods are to work, we need the forces acting against us to have a shred of sense left in their thick skulls. So when there comes a day like today, where anything could happen, Rhodes Island has to be ready with the right responses. Get to the point. I have a proposal. I hope it's a good one. I'm not sure if I should be the one disclosing this information to you, Mr. Wei. You must know with Lungmin's strength and your talents, you could annihilate Rhodes Island with a snap of your fingers. No matter how advanced our equipment may be, there is nothing we could do against your forces. If they act against you, Rhodes Island is as good as dead. Go on, Dr. Cal. Miss Amy, rest assured I have no energy to direct at Rhodes Island anymore. So please proceed. Very well. When we first met, Mr. Wei, you were very cautious about our military capabilities. I can admit now, just as I just said, Rhodes Island is no match for Lungmin in this respect. However, no matter how strong a force may be, it can be limited by circumstances it finds itself in. It's largely a difference of degree. Even your men can't project power with their hands tied, even if you step into a battlefield personally. The enemy still has something to use against you. Truth is, a colleague of mine once saw the Duke of Kashki at a fundraising banquet with his adopted daughter. This wasn't a slave market or some noble bacchanal. It was an event for those who represent the many movers and shakers of our world. Continue. I'm sure you can guess what happened next, Mr. Wei. Many young people proved their value that night with the ideas and theories that they espoused. But Tallulah did not. Neither my colleagues nor I had ever expected that she would become the leader of Reunion. In fact, we should have realized that the Duke of Kashki only shows himself when necessary. Do what is necessary, otherwise he stays outside. Kashki won't tip his hand in exchange for assistance, and neither will Tallulah. I'm sure you will know their relationship much better than we do, Mr. Wei. Duke of Kashki never made her a slave or hostage. She is his successor. Oh, your observations confirms my suspicions, Dr. Cal. Tallulah is Kashki's successor. Correct, Mr. Wei. The Duke of Kashki knows that what you have, and what you're capable of. Tallulah may as well. You can leave this in our hands now, Mr. Wei. We have what it takes to handle this situation. Like Amia told you before, the official agreement between Lungmen and Rhodes Island is over. By now, Rhodes Island landship has left Lungmen's port. What we do from here on has nothing to do with Lungmen. Is that acceptable, Amia? Yes, Mr. Wei, we won't concern ourselves with the future of Lungmen or your personal business. But all this is a result of someone conspiring to exploit the infected, and we will fight with it all our might. If you will permit us to act, and if you can promise you won't act against us in any way, then the battle to come is our battle, Rhodes Island's battle. I won't rely on the infected. I don't trust the infected. The only difference between you and Reunion is that you haven't turned against Lungmen yet. But what was Reunion like before? Even if you don't remember, somebody does. They weren't anything like this. You can't dress up your schemes in fancy words just as Reunion can shout from the rooftops that they will be the ones to deliver the infected from their fate. In the end, they will still end up being cannon fodder for the Ursus. In short order, the Ursus will snuff out the fire that is Reunion. Will you be a next Reunion? Who can say? When will you bare your fangs and turn against us? What's more, I doubt you have the strength to deal with Kashki's successor. The Duke of Kashki. Only Lungmen has successfully opposed him over all these years. Mr. Wei, do you intend to personally lead your forces to attack Chernobyl core city? Correct. Don't make blind conjectures. What you told me, Mr. Wei, is revealing. You think you're the only one who can handle this situation. It's true that Lungmen has the raw power to do it, and you've also overcome the machinations of Ursus. At this time, you intend to sacrifice yourself to nullify the declaration of war on Ursus. As Miss Fumizuki said, you feel you've betrayed your principles, and you hope to end it all with your death. I've made so many mistakes. My death can't pay for them all. I don't even know who I'd be paying. Nevertheless, Mr. Ray, you are so certain that after your death, no one will bear you any ill will. Lungmen is so strategically important to Yan. Thanks to my protection, it will continue to prosper. I was referring to Lady Fumizuki. Dr. Kao, show some tact. Dr. Kao, what are you saying? I mean what I said, Mr. Wei. I'm afraid your wife will suffer because of her actions. Even if you're dead, she is your widow. She will still know everything you knew. Since someone is forcing you to act against your will, I believe this sort of thing is to be expected. I have a feeling that particular individual won't be so magnanimous. That's enough, Dr. Gal. You're way off your line. I can't. You're saying that even if I do this, I still won't be able to protect Fumizuki. It may not end with Miss Fumizuki. I can go too. Death is the worst that can happen. Fumizuki. Speak, Dr. Cal. For the sake of your beloved city and your beloved people. I'm begging you, Lord Wei, leave this to the experts. We may be powerless against a standing army, but we know the infected. We know what they want and what they don't. Only the infected can face the infected. So what do you want, leader of Rhodes Island, Dr. Cal? You're not a charity. Attacking a core city is tantamount to throwing an egg at the boulder. It will be ruinously expensive, and may be utterly futile. You understand our position, Mr. Wei. At this point, it benefits us both to speak plainly. More than your agreement with our battle plan, Mr. Wei, we need your guarantee. Considering you may change your mind in the future, we need your promise for now. Besides, I believe that Lungmen and your family, and Madame Chen, are worth that promise. You don't need your money, Miss Fumizuki. Your kindness and your attitude toward the infected are enough for us to execute this operation free of charge. Little rabbit. Huh. Gives thumbs up. I agree. Until end of Lungmen Chernobyl conflict, we Lungmen will not in any way interfere in Rhodes Island's affairs. It looks to me like the good Dr. Cal has more yet to say. Speak up, I can do it for the time being, because I need Rhodes Island to save one very specific infected. They have another proposal. Name your price. 20 years ago, Edward Artorius, father of Tallulah Artorius, died here in Lungmen. I would like Mr. Wade to lend us his remains. Oh. 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 Yeah, I guess Huizuki. She's a... Oh man, that's so weird. Oh, the weeb speak came out of nowhere. Holy crap. Oh, I forgot. There's like... somewhere... Oh god. Oh god, someday I'll do like a deeper lore rabbit hole dive into all this. Holy crap, it's like so... There's too much. There's too much friggin'... I'll leave that for some other day. Okay, 7-4. Rose Island Bridge, 6 a.m. Attention, our outstanding operators. I have some important information to report to everyone in Rhodes Island. This is Amia. As of last night, Rhodes Island has officially left Lungmen. In light of recent developments, the trade agreements between us and Lungmen has been cancelled. We no longer have any reason or standing to remain inside the city. Fortunately, we've already purchased a lot of supplies from Lungmen, which will sustain our operation for a while. Unfortunately, some of our operators will shortly be going deep into Chernobog's core city. An extremely tough battle awaits us there. Many may think that war is a distant concern to us. War, they may say, is a conflict between two countries and has nothing to do with a pharmaceutical company. But war, I think, has never left us. We have always been in war, the long war of injustice against the infected, the war that drives people to hate one another. To develop an effective treatment for oropathy and give the infected a chance to use it, our medics have poured countless hours into their research. Likewise, it has always been our goal to provide the most advanced medical treatment to those who suffer from oropathy, inhibiting and slowing the progression of oropathy. But that is far from enough. Before we can achieve these goals, we must face the ever-growing conflicts between the infected and uninfected. The enemies of the infected will not see them treated, and each crime they commit against the infected aggravates the tensions between the groups. All while the others exploit and enslave the infected for their own profit. There are those who oppose us and even attack us solely because we seek a cure for oropathy. We have suffered this in the past. Imagine if we develop a medicine to treat this disease and never have a chance to administer it to the infected. What then? Our enemy is not only oropathy. There is no safety for us standing back from this war anymore. 2 weeks ago, Reunion and Rose Island engaged in a violent confrontation. Many of our operators sacrificed themselves in Chernobog. A story we have seen unfold far too many times. But if every sacrifice demands vengeance from us, then we will be locked into an endless cycle of revenge. Countless lives will be taken. Taken by our enemies, taken by our own hands. Our struggle with Reunion cannot rest upon hatred. If we are able to negotiate with them, we will demand from them explanation and hold them accountable with their actions. But Reunion is still grabbed by their madness. Even today, they have taken control of Chernobog's core city and are driving it into Lungmen. Even stranger, Ursus has not surrendered its territorial control of the core city. They retain a territorial claim on Chernobog, even if it under Reunion's control. Even Ursus never took action as this entire incident unfolded. The Empire of Ursus ignored the atrocities committed in Chernobog and made no effort to stop them whatsoever. They abandoned their own citizens. This has led them to conclude that Ursus has conspired to bring about these events. A collision with the core city will spark an international war, a war between Ursus and Yan. By then, it will be too late. No matter who stands between Reunion, no matter how hard they've pushed, no matter who the real mastermind behind all this is, there will only be one truth laid grimly at our feet. The infected caused this war. No matter the outcome of the war, the infected will always be the scapegoat. They will face even more brutal oppression, more miserable lives, and an eternal fiery hatred. If that comes to pass, all Rhodes Island has done will come to nothing. There won't be a single country in the world that will allow us to treat the infected, or will allow them to live a normal life. Indeed, this is an unavoidable part of our protracted war on orpathy. Rhodes Island has always been fighting this war, and it's a difficult war to win. But despite that, we will never give up. We will fight the fanatics with reason and enmity with clever strategy. We will press on because no one wants to see a better end to our efforts. So we will stop Reunion, we will stop the Trailball Core City from colliding with Lungmin. I hope those of you staying here on the landship will look after Rhodes Island. Whether or not we return, Rhodes Island will fight on. Right, situation normal. Phew. Great speech. Oh, thanks, Doctor. Was it maybe too gloomy? Yes, some other operators will think so too. They said at times like these, we should be boosting morale. But I thought about it and realized we're not that kind of team. It's not about good or bad morale for us. We need to understand what it is we're doing. The harder things get, the more we need to tell everyone the truth. We can't be making our decisions blind. What could be more dangerous than walking around this world blindfolded? I heard Madam Chen left Lungmin. It's true, I'm thinking Madam Chen will probably steal into a core city alone. Lungmin infected her bloodline. Madam Chen is a complicated person with a lot more contradictions tied up inside her. But even carrying around all that, she still didn't give up. She didn't run away. She carried all of her into Chernobog. She's not afraid of betrayal, exile, or death. Dr. A, Madam Chen is infected. Huh. Yes, Doctor, when we get to Core City, we're also going to do what we can to rescue her. Not only because not only because Chen's our friend, and not entirely because she hired us to do it. Madam Chen will not face Reunion alone. We will stand with her. Everything she worked so hard to protect, and the painful silence she forced on herself. We will help her, because we both want the same thing. I thought you'd be more scared of that hard ass. Haha, Doctor, that look on your mask, it's funny. I doubted Madam Chen before. I took her for a type who couldn't change. When she reached out to help the infected, I saw it. I saw the color of her heart. That's an interesting turn of phrase. Or it's just how I describe it. I don't really know how to explain that, what I see, and it wouldn't be right to transmit it to people directly. But to protect the infected in a moving city, to keep to that ideal is heroic. Madam Chen isn't a cold-blooded person. She's stern and strict, but that's exactly why her sense of justice forces her to fight against the darkness in this world. And she's never said so herself. So we'll go. Okay. Dr. A, are you talking about... Oh. Miss Frostnova. Right. And Misha. If there's something we can do to prevent a repeat of Misha's tragedy, bring some comfort to Frostnova and her men, and to help even more people to stop the birth of a new sorrow in this land, we will do it. Said both of you the information. This will be the first time the three of us have taken command together. Am I supposed to be excited? You could always stay here. It's up to you. I can't force you. Dr. Cal. Listening. I hope you can set aside whatever preconceptions you have of Dr. A. And I hope you set aside whatever prejudices you have towards Dr. Cal, Dr. A. For the things she said before, at least for the time being. Dr. A has amnesia. Rhodes Island has no reliable treatment to restore the doctor's memory in just 2 short weeks. So everything that a doctor is now is a product of new understanding and cognition. Dr. Cal, I hope you can look at this Dr. A in a new light. Dr. A, I don't want you doubting Dr. Cal's intentions just because of what she said. She's a person that you can rely on the most. Whether you trust her or not, she is. Please promise me, both of you. What else can I do? Dr. A. Water under a bridge is an option for us. Morality won't turn us into better people. Dr. Cal. I'm not refusing your proposal, Amia. It's just forgiveness as a form of kindness. Of waiving your right to anger will only make us weak beyond measure. I will not waive that right. But for now, I'll shelf my prejudices. Let's deal with the core city first. Once and for all. Looking forward to working with you, Cal. If you're willing. I didn't think it would be this easy. Honestly, I was even expecting you to weave in some traps and pitfalls among your words. What's the harm? I look forward to working with you, Dr. A. What's the plan? Oh yeah. Which part of the plan are you asking about, Doctor? You just walk up to Lula and introduce ourselves, right? Rose Island does have its own way of doing things. Take a look at the report. I'll cover every part of the plan. In 4 hours, we will trigger a small sandstorm in the path of Tronball Core City. "10 a.m. Wilderness. Number 1. Compressor number 1 powered. Number 2. Ammunition stockpile number 2 ready. Number 3. Wind pump number 3 camouflage in place. Is the camouflage going to work? The Tronball Core City Command Tower has a wide line in sight. This won't work without camouflage. They didn't even try to hide the fact that the Core City was basically designed as a warship. The Empire thrives through violence and conquest. Damn, so this is just how the Empire of Earth designs things. Designs put ideas into people's head, and those ideas turn around and influence design. Living in an environment like this will breed a natural hostility towards outsiders, sooner or later. It's not fair to ordinary Ursa civilians to paint them with such a broad brush. I'll back up cables. But how many crimes did Ursas commit against my hometown? They'll never be able to wash the blood off their hands. Now you seek to use the infected to spark their next war, to justify even greater cruelty against the infected. Does this not prove their brutality? They put the torches to our fields and choked our wells with ashes. They razed entire villages, leaving only charred corpses behind. They slaughtered the land itself. Only rubble remains. Those are the ordinary Ursa civilians I know. Had they not supported the war, none of these things would have happened. Maybe that was not the collective will of the people of Ursus, but rather the manifestation of evil ideas. We are not fighting the people of Ursus, but against evil itself. Firewatch, this may not be Casimir's land we're standing on, but still we will not see those atrocities repeated. It doesn't matter whether our enemy is Ursus or not. Reunion may call themselves Ursus, or they may not, but we're not here to hurt people. We're here to stop people from getting hurt. Knights never helped us guerrillas. Our leaders waited years, but in the end, help never came. We fought till the last alone, until we were devoured by Ursus. Not many of us are still around to tell the tale. Who can I trust? Who am I supposed to believe in the benevolence of Ursus's honest folk? I don't believe the Knights, especially not you, Nero, but I keep thinking back to the time I spent fighting Ursus. I don't trust him, and I don't trust Casimir's. That was a great mistake on the part of Casimir's Knights, a mistake that they could not right, and they did not manage to protect Casimir's. But at least we can fight side by side today, Firewatch. I didn't have a chance to help you back then, but this time we fight, not for our homes, but to put an end to Ursus's atrocities. Even if we're only here as support, I'm still prepared to fight for what I believe in, to die for you. Die for someone else. Not all knights are like you, but I believe this is what a knight should be. There is meaning in dying for someone else. Madam Firewatch, let this battle be my apology to you. Operator Neural, anything you need me to do? Guard the area until devices are fully operational. 4 hours ago. So we've already treasoned our camouflage. After so many major combat actions, infiltration is essentially a required course for our operators. Every situation is different, but using terrain to conceal your position is always a must. Sometimes it's snow, sometimes it's grassy plains, sometimes it's a swamp. We have different techniques every time. Longman is here in the desert and Barrenlands, so use sand to cover your tracks. That's a trick. I'm not so sure about this. It's just a way to cover our tracks. Rose Island isn't about unilateral operations. Successful infiltration is the sum of a lot of moving parts. This information of the Azazel Clinic gave us authenticated eternal bog blueprints I have. This means I have a solid picture of what the core city's lower levels look like. When the time comes, you'll enter through a drainage system in the foundation, but we will need bait. We can't hook our prey without bait. Same for the hunter. Yes, you're right, but given enough time, even the worst hunter can't tell the difference between prey and bait. We'll have to stay out of sight for long enough to prevent that. 10 a.m. You only have to land for this op, do you, instructor? There isn't a good spot in the core city, and the Reunion isn't exactly poorly equipped. They've got casters too. Landing would be tricky. No need, just make it look like we're going to land, but keep circling the city. We didn't bring a tactical team. Not much we could do with just the two of us. Yeah, I didn't think of that. How would you not think of that? Just kidding, instructor. Put the whip down. Yeah, we got the West who flies the bad guy, and now this Joker. You keep up. You can keep us up for half an hour, can't you? Not a problem. Just keep their attention. The Reunion element in the ruins know we have an aircraft, but you can't be sure about what their people in the court city might know. Rest assured, you're riding a good boy, and he's a lot noisier than the bad guy. It will be all eyes on us for a solid half hour. Just watch, instructor. Careful now, don't get us shot down. Just sit back and relax, instructor. I chauffeured Blaze and Ascalon around 100 times, and we never got shot down by on any of these low flights. Getting shot down is a one-time thing. 10 a.m. Core City outskirts. Huh. What's that up in the sky? They're flying. The enemy brought a new weapon. Which country is it from? Just shoot it down already. We don't know what it's carrying. We can't let it land. Don't panic. If it drops low enough, it will light up. Just don't let it out of your sights. What kind of safety features are on this thing? Are you afraid of heights, instructor? A little. Don't worry. If something goes wrong, we won't have time to react. The crash will pulverize us. We won't even be able to identify our bodies. The great equalizer. How could I not worry? I mean, we managed to distract the enemy. They're convinced we're preparing to land. Prepare the operation. Attention combat operators. A smattering of enemies is approaching our position. Luckily, a recon team from the core city. Our equipment is active. We won't let them ruin our plans. Madam Firewatch, cover me. Roger. Holy crap, every section is like... Yeah. Story streamer, apparently, yeah. Holy crap, dude. The throat's gonna be so dead. Holy crap, I don't even remember what part, man. I think it was after. Oh, wait, no, this is just one part. Okay, it's just one part. Okay, 7-5. Slowly. Holy. 6 a.m. We won't have much time after we take out that recon team. Right, we're on a tight schedule. The operators aren't going to climb into the city from sand. We do that sometimes, but the core city is on the move. It will be hard to get into foundation levels. The operators stand on the sand and wait for a city to pass over them. Both height and speed are going to be an issue. If they can't open maintenance hatches and waste chutes on the underside, our distraction and our camouflage won't be worth anything. So our 5 teams will take a vehicle and use the cover of the sandstorm to approach the city, then employ special equipment to climb into the city's superstructure. We only sent 5 teams. We're in no hurry to get the attention of local Ursus brass. And we wouldn't want them to send out an attack ship to smash Rhodes Island in the wilderness and kill our employees. If they did that, you wouldn't see a single report on it in any newspaper. Bankers and insurance executives will quietly cross out all your names and shove all the loot crate into their own nest eggs. No one will speak of you, no one wants to upset Ursus. Our neutrality gives us some freedom to move in the cracks between forces, and that means we can't be backed by any power. You survive by working in secret, just like when we sent those teams in to save you. 5 teams, leave tracks, cover the tracks, objective complete, objective failed. No matter what, Rhodes Island only ever deploys 5 teams. Even if they're not enough. Even for a city-state like Lungman, wiping us out would be a trifle. You saw the LGD, they're as strong as any country's special forces. They certainly have a pharmaceutical company beat. So why do they need us? Because this is about the infected. Rhodes Island has departed Lungman, and we're bearing on the next trade port at 15 kilometers per hour. We'll be in the wilderness for a few weeks before we get there. Aside for some nearby Rhodes Island communication specialists and some trusted vessels, no one will pick up our signals. We'll pilot a course around all the nomadic cities' known paths. Even if Lungman decides to betray us, they won't be able to find us. But that's not enough, is it? I have to have more to stake. Right, we will need something else to tip the scales. Both of you turned pretty gloomy, huh? I know how serious this is, but you don't have to smile like that, do you? Amia, did I smile? I know you did. Your lips may not have moved, but I could feel it. So here we are. Yay. But I have to say this, I do not intend to rebuild any sort of relationship with this person. You may be forgetting there's two sides to this. Myself, Amia, and the three of our elite operators will lead the 5 teams. We have 3 combat teams, 1 recon team, and 1 spec ops team. You may want to meet the leader of one of those teams. Osmosis, wait. Oh, Blaze. You're badly wounded. Why are you here? You should go back. Go on. Are you going to sortie this time? Yes, I'll go get somebody to replace you. How about Misery? He's better at assault ops than you. He'll wave his hand and it'll be all done. Let's have him go. Don't want me to go. Yeah, you shouldn't. You're giving me a weird feeling, Blaze. This isn't like the missions you went on before. Because I might die. Watch it. You can't just you can't come out and say it like that. You're too young for such a dangerous mission. It's not right. But Amy is going too. That's because she's Amia. She's just like me. She's infected. She's an operator. I checked the logs. Ace and Scout are both in the terminal block. They didn't come back. That means they're gone. I want to see. I want to know what happened. I want to see who's running reunion. I want to know who did what. I want to know what happened to Ace and Scout. Osmosis, you don't have to record that kind of stuff. Blaze. Shit, what the hell am I saying? No, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Damn my big mouth. But they're deaf, say. Blaze, I'm the one who's wrong. We have happy memories and painful ones too. You have to remember them both. You're weird, Blaze. Your words are all scattered and broken. I don't want to see you hurting so much. Why do you have to look back at them? You can let go of those memories. You can put them there, leave them there, and don't look back. If I don't look, what's the point in recording them? If I don't look, then they're forgotten. I won't forget. I definitely won't forget a single death. Alright, you're like me. You're a Rhodes Island elite operator. I can't go in your place. Really, you're bleeding again. It's fine. I'll take you. Ooh, for Osmosis. You and Amia look after yourselves. Right, I will. Do I have to meet her? Dr. A. Rhodes Island's elite operators, for whatever reason, dedicate their talent and energy to the Rhodes Island project. The teams they bring with them fully support their work, because our elite operators to a certain degree can directly determine how we use a certain tactic. But not all of them are exactly as we imagine them. You've met elite operator Blaze, Doctor. There are a lot of rumors about her. Maybe you haven't heard. The truth is, they're a little exaggerated. But everyone has a little different impression of her. But Doctor, I think you're capable of understanding her choices. Judging by your reaction, you may have already met the one we're talking about. Oh, huh. Then we're okay. Anything else I should know? That's a basic plan. Honestly, it's practical. A plan's a plan. An operation's an operation. But the op is what matters. The plan is just a basic outline of operation, and a misstep during the operation can shatter the plan. I hope we don't have any bad omen specialists here. Uh-oh, this ain't good. We have a problem. Dust density is still too low. This isn't going to work at that light angle. We're in the open here. If they look down from the bridge, they might spot us before we're fully operational. But we can't cover the machine any more than it already is. If you block the airflow, you won't get enough of a current going to kick up the dust. What do we do? Should we keep moving back? We might not have time. I'll take care of it. Firewatch, keep an eye out and tell me which way to adjust. Lady, what are you doing? Fixing the angle of the light. To mitigate the suffering of the world, I believe even the sun itself will bow to me. Oh, what's on the dune? Neural. They're not saddling up and not falling back. What's she doing? Meditating? Posing? Is she posing here? No, wait, what's that light? Her whole body is glowing. No, too bright. Thanks, Captain. Thanks for covering my eyes, but it would be too great if you weren't squeezing like you wanted to crush my skull. What is Nero doing? She's okay. Well, you say that, Captain, but that light is brighter than the sun. What is she up to? Huh, no way. She's pulling in all that light around us. Whoa. Captain, all the light is starting to form together. I know, I'm just saying, could anyone but the Radiant Knight do something like this? Captain, look at the shadows of sand dunes. Can you even tell what time of day it is? I'm just trying to brighten the mood here. And once we kick up that sandstorm, we won't be able to see the shadows, right? Shutting up. Sorry. Kick us up. You got some weird colored balls clipping us. Don't be scared, instructor. Reunion casters aren't good enough to shoot us down. Or just a distraction. No need to put on an air show for reunion. Put on a good enough show and reunion might just surrender, huh? Is that what they call a show of force? Aerial acrobatics isn't a show of force. Hold on tight, instructor. You need a barf bag. The device is fully functional, Amia. We're ready to move. Roger. Drivers, maintain a steady speed. Check your maps. Use the sandstorm to cover your approach to the core city until you're in range to deploy your boarding gear. Engage. The sand will cover our tracks. Remember your protective gear. Don't let sand into our sensitive equipment. But I can see the sun. Why is the sunlight breaking through the sandstorm? The underside of the core city is so clear. It's like arts. This wasn't part of the plan. It's that natural light. Don't worry about it. Roger that. Grappling hooks, prepare a fire. Operators, make sure that cables are securely fixed to the underside of the city. Once all our operators are aboard, the vehicles will depart at once. I don't usually say things like this, but I'm pretty sure that light just now is a good omen for us. Definitely. I made it a little too intense. I had to aim it at the ground, but let's not tell her that part. Hold on. Core City is speeding up. Our machines are wind-driven, but they can only keep the sandstorm within a 1 kilometer range. If they break that range, they'll spot us for sure. Hurry up, everyone. We're out of time. We have to slow down. If you drive out of the sandstorm, Chernobog's optical detection system will pick us up right and blow the whole up. How many people do we have left? Hurry up and... Aren't many left, huh? Pass me a carbonator. I'm going myself. It's too dangerous, Doctor. You never had an operator training. We can't send you up there alone. Didn't Dr. Cal assign you any battlefield support? Maybe she thought I could use the exercise myself. I did. Me. Dr. Cal grabbed by the waist with one arm and pulled you onto a zip line with the other. Seize your own fate next time, Dr. A. Sandstorm was ferocious, and the arm holding you was very hard. You couldn't be certain it belonged to Cal. All squads, take your positions. There's no room for error in the operation to come. "10:30 a.m. Core City Foundation." Yeah, this is definitely a sign of someone breaking in here. Confirm one infiltrator. We can't be sure if that bloodstain over there is Reunion's or someone else's. It hasn't turned yet. Very well could be Officer Chen's. We have to hurry. Oh, Doctor. I'm glad you made it here safe. You call that safe? Oh, huh. That dangerous, huh? Did you get hurt, Dr. A? I'm fine, let's go. Just some psychological trauma. Okay, that was just one part, right? I think it's the one part. Okay, that was just a one-parter. Man, freaking swole kitty, apparently. Holy crap. And 7-6. Okay, I gotta remember 7-6 before. Chernobog Underground Base. 10:30 a.m. Were you waiting for me here? Yes, it took me a long time to find you. We'll begin the operation after you finish collecting all the environmental information. But for that, it will benefit you to hear exactly what's going on inside Chernobog's core city. Amy is a bit tied up on scene, so she won't be able to join this discussion. You've already read the information in the mission briefing, but that kind of information is not good enough for a mind like yours. I'm glad you see me as more than a simple battlefield commander. You might not remember, but I do. I remember you had quite a talent for heating up rations by pouring boiling water directly into your mouth at 4 in the morning. You don't believe me, you can try for yourself. Let's skip chatter, we don't have much time. Rhodes Island and LG worked together to take down Reunion and neutralize the forces controlled by Mephisto and Crownslayer. After that, Reunion's deployments in Lungmen fell apart completely. Enemy reported to me that you had the difficult fight with a Frost Nova, and infected serving Reunion as a leader of a specialist squad at the bottom of Lungmen. Battle ended in your victory. Wouldn't call that a victory. Understand, according to the data from PRTS, you had the cooperation of our operators when you brought the enemy's body back to Rhodes Island for treatment. I don't consider her an enemy. Dr. A, distinguish your friends from your foes. No, you might get the wrong idea, but you must hear me out. I'm not trying to blame you, Dr. A. Aaron told me what happened between you and the enemy commander. Only those who were there at the time had the information to decide what to do. I don't have the right to overreach and criticize your judgment. You tried to understand the motives of that infected. You were willing to bear the consequences for the things Frost Nova did. This is what you did. You plan to use this method to make sense of the suffering in this world. I have no reason to blame you. I'm even willing to vouch for you before the operators of Rhodes Island, Dr. A. Make your own decisions, and I will try not to interfere. After that, I will determine the part of the responsibility that belongs to Rhodes Island. Your powers and responsibilities complement one another. Distinguish your enemies from your friends. Those are your words, not mine. If you really want to breathe as one, you're actually siding with me. I never said that. More accurately, Frost Nova and her Yeti squad were a guerrilla team of elite infected. Right now, these are the still two elite forces that Reunion is still able to mobilize. These guerrilla warriors are the first. The second is the Sarkaz mercenary, W and her team of sellswords. According to my intel, W used some underhanded tactics to seize leadership of the Sarkaz mercenaries working in Reunion. We don't have time to go over that, but what should be common historical knowledge, but let me say this frankly. Sarkaz mercenaries are unreliable, a problem W faces just as much as Reunion. Sarkaz mercenaries aren't like normal agency mercenaries. They are the overflowing military might of Kazdel, spilling out across the land. Trying to control them is an act of folly. It will only anger forces backing them. You must have a pretty deep understanding of the Sarkaz. I haven't even gotten to the important part. The point is, the infected guerrillas of Yeti Squad are completely different from the Sarkaz mercenaries. There are no similarities between them in terms of their form, organization, behavior, or creed. Before joining Reunion's ranks, they were an independent guerrilla force of infected, and their prestige was even greater among certain forces infected that of Reunion. And before they formed this guerrilla force, they used to be part of that mighty Ursa's military. The guerrillas of the northwestern tundra. I'm not sure where you learned that piece of information, Doctor, but it colored me impressed. Though that piece of information itself is fairly basic, I am relieved that you're still able to proactively gather intel on your own. Why does it feel like you're poking fun at me? I only get what you deserve. You arrived at the foundations of the industrial sector at Chernobog's core city. Next, we will lead 3 teams through the complex underground passages, take the sewer pipes from the industrial layer, and come up in the heart of this core city. Be aware that any enemies you see patrolling these areas are not the ordinary Reunion thugs that you're used to fighting. We will meet rigorously trained soldiers, Reunion soldiers, trained detectives of Ursa's own army by the guerrillas. One recon operators discovered that communication networks have been forcibly cut off within the core city. Rather, it seems that Reunion didn't even try to maintain these channels. This is a severe constraint upon modern-day squads to rely on the most common modes of communication. What this means is Reunions either already has some special way of communicating, or they simply aren't prepared to fight. Based on what we saw in Chernobog a month ago, don't expect that second scenario. However, if communications is cut off, the lower-ranking Reunion members won't receive direct commands. Most of the time, expect them to act independently. I fear they won't know signals they cannot receive, a signal that only countries and states can distinguish, one that marks the territory of Ursus. Terrible storm is brewing within the city. Chaos, whether caused accidentally or deliberately, will permeate everywhere like thick smoke. They're a step ahead of me, and seeds of ruin have already been sown. What's your conclusion? Conflict is brewing within Reunion. Are you so sure? I've seen the same thing unfold countless of times across this land. Is there something you're not telling me? I said pretty much everything I need to say. As for the rest, we'll cross those bridges when we get to him. Even if we're still just preparing for war, efficiency still matters. Please help me notify the members of Team R4, Doctor. Have them take these devices. Hold on. Is there a problem? Don't these belong to Rosmontis? Yes, you seem to know more about Rosmontis than conversation you had in bioprocessing unit indicated. I saw her getting ready to fight. Never expected she would have the power to use a device like this. Every elite operator has a considerable amount of strength. You expect them to take charge. So you haven't had the time to understand how Rosmontis fights. But just to get this out of the way, there are some things they should not be shouldering alone. As a field commander, a necessary part of your job is to help relieve the pressure on these operators. In this upcoming battle, you may take some shocking discoveries. Huh. Very few people aren't shocked after watching Rosmontis fight. Make sure you're ready for it. Dr. A, you're here. You intercepted an enemy patrol squad, steadily handling the situation. Has the fighting started already? Doctor, your position there is kind of risky. I think you'll probably want to move. I just got here. Right there behind you. Doctor, it's really dangerous to stand next to her. Enemy? What do you mean? Rosmontis? Enemy? Doctor, those are the ones who killed my family. Enemies? Rosmontis? What happened? Doctor, step aside. Get out of the way. I'm not like Amiya. Amiya's arts can go around her friends to strike her enemies. But not me. I can't. So don't stand between me and my fight. That girl, the one carrying that box, what's going on? What's wrong with my eyes? I can't see anything. My eyes, my face, it hurts. It hurts. Something's crushing my head. No, it's been a long time since I've crushed anyone to death. Those swords. Rosmontis? Reunion. I don't want you in my memories. Any of you. Oh my... What the fuck? Nah, I'm pretty sure that had to be Cal's R, right? That had to be. That had to be Cal's R. There's no way, right? Holy... Why are all the... Man, it's all the fucking cat ops, man. The freaking cats, man. Holy shit. Bloody, torn, pierced. This isn't right. Us enemies, people. Wailing, screaming, groaning. We can't take this anymore. You have a question? Ask. Doctor, is this your first time seeing Rosmontis fight? I know it's hard to watch, but I'll handle it. You go to 10 wounded enemies who can't fight anymore. Also among them are communication personnel relaying orders and intelligence. If they're allowed to escape, it puts our whole operation at risk. Roger. How old is she? 14. And you're letting her. People, please, let me through. What happened here? I just finished handling the doctor. What? Doctor, you just called me. Who sent you out to fight? Who sent you here? Doctor. You should not have to suffer through this. Why would they let you do this? This isn't right. I did. You did what? I did. I choose to fight. I want to fight. There are some feelings I can only experience on the battlefield. Protecting my friends and family is the only way I can feel complete. Rhodes Island needs me. The world is calling my name to prevent more people like me from coming out into it. Still though, you can't. You can't. Does F care that I am a child? Would war or disease spare someone because they are a child? When Amy or I stand on a battlefield, who looks at us and thinks children? We're monsters, aren't we, Doctor? That's just how you see yourself. No, Doctor. Dr. A. Doesn't matter what I am. I just want to make a difference with my family. Do you know Scout? What? Do you know Ace? Yeah. It's already been a few days since I watched any of their materials. I've forgotten a lot. But I only forgot I'm not like you, Doctor, who threw at anything. Rosmontis. No, I didn't mean that, but you get Amia. I get it, but just don't say it like that. Fine. Lots of bits and pieces of things. Lots of pictures and words. Those feelings. Feelings I can't say. Only Amia can understand. But it never truly left me. Doctor, I feel like you're complicated. Even more complicated than they say. They say I'm complicated too. Some of them are scared of me. Some of them say I shouldn't be like this. But they don't know why I'm like this. They don't know what I've been through. Why does my heart suddenly ache? Why do I want to cry now of all times? Even though I can't remember anything. Why are my eyes still sore? Why are my lips dry? Who left a stain in my corridor? And why hasn't it been cleaned? Why do I feel worried when I break a vase, but also strangely happy? Why do I feel disgust from looking at flowers, but wonder from looking at bugs? What happened during all that time I can no longer remember? Why do these emotions keep welling up within me? Every operator I feel has their own unique differences. And when I lose them, those feelings also disappear. But why? Why do we even have emotions? Why do my tears keep flowing even when I can't feel anymore? Then I already forget everything. But Rosmontis never wanted me to take her feelings away. These sudden surges of emotions belong to her no matter what they are. They belong only to Rosmontis. I can't interfere with them. As long as Rosmontis still has hopes somewhere inside her, I won't do that. Because it's up to her to choose what to do. She can also choose to forget. To truly forget. I don't know that much about her. Dr. A. Rhodes Island has a strict screening process for our operators. Many of them apply for combat roles and reject most of those. We look at lots of different metrics to decide if an operator is fit for combat. Combat ability, tactical aptitude, discipline, and physical fitness are all important parameters, but that barely scratches the surface. People often have difficulty trusting one another, and when they're on an actual mission. Rosmontis is here because she trusts in our orders and objectives, and we trust in her abilities and judgment. People believe in me, Doctor. No, believe in us. You slowly begin to see a colors of her emotions. Doctor, thank you for fighting alongside Blaze. You don't have to thank me. Blaze needs more people fighting alongside her, and I want her to see her smile. I want to see you too. I want to see the one Ace and Scott always talked about. Here you are. You found me this time. She uses heavy machinery to quickly and effectively destroy the enemy, while at the same time exhibiting astonishing self-control and adaptiveness. Rosmontis is one of Rhodes Island's greatest annihilation specialists. As such, the way she treats people and the way she speaks may worry you. The way she fights and its contrast with her appearance is indeed very cruel. Blaze running around with her chainsaw may be easier to accept, but the destruction of when Rosmontis takes the field is much harder to stomach. If it will help you sleep at night, I can make you a promise. It will help if it will help at all. Rosmontis almost never kills, though her tactics seem to singularly aim for that outcome. She actually focuses on disabling the enemy's combat abilities. Take that last battle for example. All the enemies were disarmed, but not a single one died to Rosmontis' attacks. She also has much more control over her weapons than she once did. Of course, whether or not we can keep the prisoners alive depend entirely on our abilities to destroy Reunion's leadership. Only then we will be able to send rescue teams into Core City. But sometimes we must use lethal force in order to accomplish our goals. Some loss of life is inevitable. You still look disturbed. Is this all beyond your ability to accept? It doesn't make sense. You're not be able to accept the truth either. Her terrifying regime arts and her incredible perception are not the only reasons why Rosmontis is an elite operator. Rosmontis demonstrates these qualities because she became an elite operator. We made our judgment not on whether to send her to battle, but how disastrous the consequences might be if we didn't let her become a fighter like this. What kind of consequences? Worst case scenario, her arch leaks out of her body and pushes her to kill, subconsciously or otherwise. Humans killing each other has become the normal state of things. Even so, most people still hold their weapons and save themselves. Whether or not someone whether or not someone who has lost their sense of self can still be called a person is another topic I'm not interested in discussing, but humanity grapples with the extent and manifestation of this problem. When you deprive a human being of her sentience, what is left? What is created? When that creation deprives us all of our lives, who is at fault? The one who created a weapon, the one who used a weapon, or the one we treat as a weapon? I'll figure it out myself. As we move on to the next battle, I may be able to teach you more. By the way, on the issue of her age, Amy puts on an air of maturity that may have you fooled, maybe not. The young creature known as a deadly weapon won't be seen as an ordinary child just because she looks young. Not to mention all that they've been through. Take that what you need. It's time to head to the surface. What about Amia? Is she a weapon too? You can ask her yourself. This is something you should hear from her. Okay, I'll stop right there. Orphan, I was just leaving. Whatever it is, make it quick. You know the prophecy, don't you? Yes, there's nothing you don't know. Prophecy. Is that not why you allowed Amia to go? Amia is the commander of this operation, as well as the one who suggested it. But as young as Amia is, how can she command? Orphan, how long has it been since we left Kazel? Be precise, or I'm leaving. 2 months. Orphan, stop joking around. I know what you mean. She's grown up. Yes, Orphan, time flies. Age progression in Colossus and vampires is radically different. It has been 3 years since we left Kazel. It may feel like a short time for you, but Amia has matured a lot. Answer my first question. Prophecy. Last Wendigo will die at the hands of Lord Fiends. Correct, I'm familiar with that guerrilla group, and their leader. I'm certain it's him. The original phrasing of the prophecy was the son of Horg, Tekras, the traitor to Sarkaz, and disreputable end of the bloodline will be executed by Lord of Sarkaz. Some prophecy whether or not there is any extension of their bloodline. There are so many Wendigos living their lives in Columbia and Ursus. That is, if a few dozen can be called many. And considering in context of the time, you should view it as a threat. Many people did not want to see the Wendigos leave Kazel. It wasn't either of us who said it, and since you still remember it, you must have found it important, no? Are you getting old? Since when do we believe in prophecies and Sarkaz witchcraft? Old me. I contracted oropathy. Death is always here with me, waiting for the right time to strike. Warfare, my life is no doubt much shorter than you think. Hey, must we be so morbid? I'm not your little girl closure. I won't let you keep skirting around the topic. The issue you raise is quite morbid. Never mind. Hear me, Cal. The others may not say as much as you to you, but I will. He is one of the very few left among us. I am no bleeding heart, no goodly busybody, but we are Sarkaz. I am a vampire and the old man is a Wendigo, but we are the same. This world is a tough place for Sarkaz. I hope he can return to Kazel if possible, or come with us. I'm not Warfaren, I'm not Sarkaz. So you refuse. No, I'll do what I can. Even I remember in Warfaren. The promise is stronger than anything. Don't get your hopes up that this will be easy. By this time, you'll be there. As long as Dr. Cal makes her best effort, I'll accept the outcome. Maybe you haven't heard, but your proposal came too late. Some things have already unfolded, and rather unfortunately. Some time ago, an infected clinic in the Chernobog called Azel traded information with us. I learned some more information about the Wendigo and Marine service. What's more, and you should know this as well, anyone who stands against the most brutal blade in the Ursus will soon learn whether it tastes of salt or rust. No one should knowingly place our operators in danger. Some patients' days are numbered, but that number depends on the doctor treating them. It's all up to us. It's all up to us. I told you before, you may have forgotten. I won't discipline you for it, but I may do something to put an end to it once and for all. Or not to say I'm frightening, Warfaren. We've been over this. Do not under any circumstances, even at Rhodes Island, speak of the Lord of Fiends. Ever. Wait, all hands at ease. Rosmontis, am I getting this right? Yes, I felt it too. Doctor, something unexpected here. What is it? I'm not totally sure, but the core city might be slowing down. Holy... She has a stand? What the heck? Wait, I thought I used Rosmo. I thought she was isn't she like a sniper? Holy crap, she has a stand, I guess. Oh my god, dude. Man. All the Ros lore, holy crap. Oh wait, no, I don't want to play this. I think it's after now, 7-6 after. Holy crap. Bloodied, torn, pierced. This isn't right. Us enemies people. Wailing, screaming, groaning. I can't take this anymore. Oh wait, no, I already read this. Wait, no, actually I read this. Oh man, holy crap. Dude, these sections are so long. Oh, it's I actually legit can't remember if I've done the before or after sections sometimes, because they're so long, holy crap. Unknown time. I'm going to draw curtains. Glass has already been broken. Doing that would just be lying to myself. Glass doesn't matter. Whether Chen is safe does matter. She's skilled, not like her father or her mother. Yeah, yes, nothing like her. Beneath my feet is already another river of lights. Longman has already returned to normal, but I still don't know what will happen next. Alone, Chen Huiche cannot stop this disaster. Rhodes Island is Vefford. They will find her. White can no longer hold back the conservatives. For so many years, he has tried to suppress the Great Lords, but he has not been able to completely defeat them, only weaken them. After a great rebellion, a harsh blow was dealt to generals of various armies and old nobles behind him. Their status and wealth will be absorbed by the State Council, one by one. I'm afraid of what? What if Wit is lying? What if this whole situation was plotted by Wit and the Emperor? What if the young Emperor planned all of this? Our enemies have always lurked in the shadows, but we've always had to stand before the bright spotlight. You are already deeper in the shadows than most. It's not enough. Just like back then, if Kashke was in this situation, he'd burrow deeper. But you're not Kashke. Kashke would not have been able to make Lungmen what it is today. It's just that if Tal really was taught by Kashke. That doctor from Rose Island, do you think she's lying? I'm not sure. There aren't many people like that who don't lie. Rose Island is good at hiding itself. They don't feign weakness before us, and will not reveal any secrets. But I would rather believe that Kashke shaped the current Tallulah. We can't afford the terrible consequences of underestimating the enemy. Tal, because of that, I can't let Chen Hui try to do this alone. Kashke has all the cards in his hand. Even if he is dead, his vision may yet come to pass through his hair. Now this could be what he wanted. The scout team reported that some of the infected who left Lungmen were moving in the direction of the core city. The core city must be stopped for a period of time, during which they received these infected refugees. Even Tallulah barred her vicious fangs at Ursus. She would not betray reunion in front of everyone. This is the best opportunity. I will bring the Shadow Guard. You. They've already done too much for me. I promised that I'd never ask them to dirty their hands, only to break that promise again and again. And I would ask them to die for Lungmen. So I will be with them. I won't allow it. You doing that would play right into Kashke's hands. That would not be a win at all. Is it not a stretch to say that everything we've done since regaining Lungmen has played in Kashke's hands? You've won before. It was our victory at first. Even though it was painful, you and I, Edward, and Kodrui, without us, he would have wiped out the city. I never once regard this incident as an unfortunate beginning. I won't treat Edward's death as if it was by Kashke's hands. We'd rather treat it as a nightmare. No, the nightmare should have finally ended when Kashke died. Is he really dead? Maybe he lives on Tallulah. A qualified successor will allow him to continue his life of chaos. Tallulah is too much like him. For someone who has no children, Kashke truly received the most suitable seed. Even if I can treat Cal's words as fabrications, I cannot deny the facts. There is a conspiracy against Lungmen, and it reads too much like Kashke's handwritings. I won't believe it. Cal has never been that kind of person. Why is she doing this? You have no choice but to believe it. Tallulah planned all of this. But if she thinks Lungmen will roll over and die, she will find she is sadly mistaken. Lungmen will not fall. I won't let any harm come to Lungmen. But you also cannot stop this war. Do you want me to die with you? Fumizuki, are you threatening me? I don't know, that's not what I meant. It's just that. No, you can't. Only cowards would elevate themselves on the corpses of others. And without you, I wouldn't be able to. Maybe I was a coward before, but not anymore, Fumizuki. I won't let anyone lay a finger on you. I'll find a place for you to hide, be it Lathanian or Sargon or Sami. You can't go back to Higashi. I'll send you to a distant country, to a small, quiet town that nobody knows about. I'll hide you where nobody can follow you. My brother, no matter how much he hates me, he won't chase you to the ends of the earth. I know he won't. But I can't live like that. Do you want me to spend my life alone, Yenwu? Do you want to torture me with your death for the rest of my life? Don't you remember why your sister died? No, Fumizuki. I want you to live. But Yenwu, I told you, I'm fine with it. To die with you would already be a best terrible outcome I can imagine. Or rather, no matter how terrible it is, it'll be a fine ending for me. I won't say that, Fumizuki. I won't be that kind of person. I won't let you do that either. But you can't stop me. You've never been able to stop me from doing what I can do. Fumizuki. Yenwu, you've always been frank with me. Sometimes you won't tell me anything. When you finally come out of it, I'll always know that you're telling me the truth. I don't want you to die, but I also don't want Tal to die. I don't want any of us to die. I miss Tal. I'm always reminded of how much she looks like your sister. But she has Edward's eyes, and that temper she had when she was little. I had no idea who she got it from. It's been so many years since I've seen her. You owe all this to her. And Huiche. Yes, and little Chen as well. Little Chen is gone, and I won't be able to see her ever again. I'll never be able to buy her beautiful clothes and comb her hair into a work of art. She didn't like traditional attire that much. But I liked it. How beautiful she will be. But even if that's the case, even if we've said our final farewell, I hope that little Chen can find someplace else to settle down comfortably. That's what I hope. I know you don't want to rely on Rhodes Island. I know you won't hedge all of your bets on them. But I want you to wait for a while. And let them do this, Yenwu. If they fail, then we shall go together. You don't want to have the blood of your own loved ones on your hands ever again, right? If that happens, I will help you take Cal's life. Then we will die together. Fumizuki. You want to live as well, don't you? Is this Lungmen a place that wants all of us to die? I would rather never see him again. I would rather never see little Chen and Tal again and forget about them. But I also want them to live on. Just like you wanted me to make this decision. Fumizuki, if things pass the tipping point, you must be willing to listen to my arrangements. Our lives are not indivisible. Of course not, Yenwu. I do not solely exist for you. Everything I've done from beginning to end has not only been for your sake. You must see what I am fighting for. Don't dodge the issue anymore. Look at me. I will stick to my decision. Do you want to cry? It's fine to cry, Yenwu. No, Fumizuki, no. I'm fine. Be honest. There are people who simply want to rest and find refuge within the city. Why should they suffer needless death? Don't we just want to give them a home? Don't we want all people like us, who have nowhere to go, to have a warm place to rest? Do I not simply want to build a little city where everyone can live with peace of mind? Who was Lungmen built for, the way it is now? I'm no moralist, Fumizuki, but the closer I look, the more I realize that only one death is needed. My own. Don't be like this, you mustn't. I will have the Shadow Guard escort you to Sargon. When did Lungmen turn into this? And when did I become like this? Oh, please. Okay. 7-7. Okay, so 7-8 now. $11:30 a.m. Leader. Phantom Crossbowman, I'm glad to see you've returned safely. You brought so many. Are they all our people from Lungmen? There are so many infected. Who came back with us? I don't think we'd meet you here. We can save a lot of our lives making full use of Tremblebox resources. This core city will be our final weapon to breach Lungmen. What? No, my leader. Why was Lungmen so different from what we planned? So many of our comrades died back there for nothing. You dare speak to a leader like this? No, he's right. Many of our dear friends have suffered so much. The enemy left a lot of treacherous traps for us that disrupted our plans. It was a major setback. However, even if our pioneers face some obstacles, the reunion movement will avenge them. I shall see to it that your wounds, your sacrifices are made whole again. Worry not, we will be with you always. I hope so, leader. The person you're carrying, Mephisto, is he? False sacrificed himself to save him, didn't he? That's right, leader. With no regard for his own life, False used his arts to cover our tracks and give us a chance to escape. Oh. Phantom Crossbowman, my people Rian, False will live on forever in our hearts. Help him down, Mephisto will need to rest a while. I will have some men take you to the camp. Another thing, leader. We lost contact with Crownslayer early on. We haven't heard anything from her. Don't know where she might have ended up. As for Yeti Squad and Frost Nova, they're all truly unfathomably tragic news. Please allow me some time to myself. Sarkaz, do not let them near any of our units in the city. How far do we go? All the way. See it to that they never set foot here. Could they be hiding something, or have they been digging around? Your team must know something I don't. Maybe that battle was somewhat transformative. Those arts were already exceptional, and he was not talkative. He cloaked himself in his silence. I thought Faust would be the one to survive. But then, this isn't so strange either. Who are you? Who am I? What do you want? What do I want? Join you, fight for myself. Fight. For exalted Ursus. He was supposed to be the last one standing. Looks like a core city is back up to speed. It didn't stop for long. On the upside, that should have been regained, taking a group of affected migrants from Lungman, I hope. But we have to change up our strategy. We expect the city to make a few more stops along the way until enemy commander decides to announce their plan. Then it should stop taking in infected refugees. At that time, should Wei Yin decide to attack, then we will redeploy their defensive units. We may be exposed in the process and come under attack. I hope our agreement with Miss Fumizuki will buy some time from Chief Wei. We're already very close to the center of the core city. There are a lot of passages above and below us that seem like they were part of the city's transit system. After a catastrophe, everything stopped working. Does that mean it's impossible for a city to function and even move? Could this be the underground structure Dr. Cal was talking about? Regardless, these passages make good cover for us. The number of enemy guards have nearly doubled in the storage area close to the central district. We haven't seen much resistance since entering the core city, but once we proceed to the central district, we should expect to run into a lot more Union forces. Recon and Spec Op teams are already in position. So far, so good. We only have 3 teams working together. The Recon and Spec Op teams both have their own missions. Radiant is leading a Recon team for this operation, as one of Rhodes Island's communication specialists. Thanks to Radiant, the Recon team serves as the focal point for our comms in this operation. Even here in this core city, we'll still be able to communicate with the other teams. That's because of their hard work. I didn't see them. The Recon team always works alone. Outcasts, Radiant, and Scout, who heroically gave his life in the Chernobog rescue mission. The elite operators leading Recon teams are responsible for leading their squads alone, identifying and reporting threats, and attempting to resolve them without assistance. Radiant is as skilled in combat as the other 2 elite operators, but she has a unique talent as Rhodes Island when it comes to directly influencing the course of a battle. We have 3 teams engaging in this assault operation. We don't need Radiant to trouble herself with combat. As for our Spec Ops team, their mission also avoids direct combat. So you're not going to tell me what it is. Enough to know that it's enough to know that they're necessary. You'll know the details soon enough. Each team makes up a link in the chain of our strategy. A stable structure breeds a stable result. Conversely, a formidable opponent has a tangled and twisted root structure. They pull in nutrients from every level. Hacking off branches does them no harm. That's to set their roots aligned before they even know we're here. I think I get it. I'm pretty sure you get it all. Doctor. Wait a second. Some distant vague feelings are coming to me. An orderly, unchanging flow with no conflict. Ironclad and they're moving. Reunion's guard team. Let's avoid them and find another way. No time to lose. Amia. Dr. Cal. Careful, can't you feel it? Attention operators, protective gear on. It couldn't be Rosmontis. Are you feeling any anomalies? No, I don't think so. This is beyond Rosmontis' arts. You can't rely entirely on emotions, Amia. There's more to feel than feelings alone. When you run your fingers through a head of hair, the first thing you feel is neither longing nor joy. It's something more base than that. Base. You can go up to the surface from the depths, Amia. Only you can. Then I'll try Dr. Cal. There's a sliver of energy and a strong sense in the air, like a corpse. No, this isn't a real corpse. Could it be? No, why? It's Sarkaz. Sarkaz arts. Thick with the smell of death. A ritual. It's an ancient ritual that runs itself after taking shape. These are not modern arts. Definitely not a modern tactic. And Sarkaz arts unique. They are. This is very unusual. With Sarkaz, we know today can't perform arts like these. Understand what you mean, Dr. Cal. This is an ancient Sarkaz ritual, not a product of modern science of Viridian arts. Our enemy here may be of the purest Sarkaz. These are techniques not known to any modern country, passed down only among ancient Sarkaz and Sargonian nomads. The ritual relies on oropathy infection and the caster's peculiar understanding of Viridium. Chaotic energy is seeping out of the Viridium core, spilling out and enveloping the entire block. I can't even imagine how the potent tempest at the center of the ritual would affect a living being. It wouldn't know the difference between friend or foe. Any living being would be slowly pulled apart by the waves of energy. It doesn't seem useful for modern combat. The cost far outweighs any potential gain. Cannibalism. The phrasing may seem alarmist, but that's how this ritual is called. It's not surprising that the device at the center of the ritual is called an altar, considering how horrifically destructive it is. The initiated refer to this as witchcraft. I don't think ordinary Sarkaz mercenaries know how to use these kinds of arts. You would have to have extensive arts knowledge and combat experience from Kazdel to be able to pull off this ritual, and you wouldn't actually need to be a caster. But he's only a Kazdel Sarkaz, not one of the descendants of the ancient Sarkaz still wandering around the world. Dr. Cal is this second layer of protective equipment designed to protect against the Sarkaz arts. Not entirely. The amount of energy the ritual is producing exceeds the maximum tolerance of our equipment. The ritual can only be complete successfully in the city lost to catastrophe. Our gear will not negate the effects of this ritual. Its power derives from antiquity and cannot be separated from it. All we can do is mitigate its lethality and destroy it after clearing the area. The Sarkaz ritual is not only a challenge to modern technology. It's almost as if it's standing to once again challenge the other civilizations of this world, as the Sarkaz have plotted throughout history. It's a metaphor. Yes, but Sarkaz history is more than metaphorical. The Reunion element guarding Chernobog is not a typical group. I've said as much already. The Reunion may very well rely on hubs and neural networks to operate as a single unit on a large scale. But for today's purely push strategy-driven environment, Reunion would be something of an anomaly. Imagine if soldiers who could not deal with the infected with no training in how to fight Sarkaz infiltrated the core city. They would suffer a crushing defeat. Right. Then let me think of it. Dr. A, Dr. Cal. The places where the enemy performed our Sarkaz rituals must be important locations, or critical transport hubs. They're much more familiar with the terrain than we are. They would have mapped out all the paths long before we could. They must have defenses in places before we even started our operations. The only advantage we have is our intelligence. We know how they're deployed, and they know nothing about us. So we must move quickly or wipe out the enemies guarding this area. The faster we do it, the safer we will be. Don't let them alert the other guards. Don't even think about an ambush. We can't waste time here. Right, I will help with this out. Okay, I think. Dr. Cal, look, I think if... Alright, if you don't need my assistance, Dr. A, is there something I can help with? Please help Amia command the operation. It will evaluate the progress of the battle. Roger. Rosmontes, we're moving out. We'll vacate the area after this battle and head to core city surface. Rosmontes, at least it'll be sunny. Sunny. Looking at it. The rest of it is up to you, Dr. A. I know you won't let us down. Cal, we won't see that disappointment again. Never step into the same river twice. There won't be a second time. Even if it's the same person, the same thing, in a different time, we'll have a different outcome. This world will change. You believe it, don't you? Guess it makes sense that you wouldn't. I believe it, Dr. A. A person like that, I know if it wasn't this time right now, Dr. A would be different. I've seen a lot, so very many. Even if everyone else won't, I can understand. Cal, if you had a little more time, you and I. You prove you're not the Dr. A that was stuck in the past. And this time, no matter how Dr. A you have to, Cherbourg Warehouse, 12:40 a.m. With all these warehouses and storage equipment, this must be a warehouse district. And if you stay on this path, we will reach the central district. I'm gonna come back in the warehouse. What is this? Oh. Signs of combat using sharp blade types arts. Make quick work of 3 Union guys, toss them over here. Still going. Dr. Cal. Asking you and the medic operators to take care of the Reunion people. They may have important information. And we picked up Madam Chen's trail here. Bloodstains. She's hurt. There's a trail of blood here, but it stops over there. She got her bleeding under control. Only one person left the scene. It must be Madam Chen. Hold on, Madam Chen. We're coming. Feels like deja vu. Yeah, Chernobyl was just like this. But Madam Chen was able to take on Rogue Reunion team all by herself back there. This time is totally different. We had a cooperation agreement then, nothing else. I was only starting to learn who Madam Chen was. But here we're ready. Is that a civilian? Where did she come from? We haven't found their hideout. Is it Ursus graveyard? Stay alert but hold your fire. We're a neutral group researching the infected, ma'am. We're here to help you. We mean you no harm. You're a regular infected. Infected? I'm Ursus. You want to help the infected? How bullshit. Don't you know what you infected have done to us? Ma'am, we'll keep our distance if you feel unsafe. We'll stay 20 meters back. No, I'm infected too, so I'm not supposed to talk to you like that, right? You'll say the infected. Aha, all infected should just die. I should die too. If there were no infected, I wouldn't have gotten infected. All I think about is revenge and hurting others. Is that what the infected do? Is that what I should be doing? Amy, come for her, okay? No, not now. Let her vent. All the painful memories she's built up over the past last months are stabbing her in her consciousness. It's time she faces them. This is a chance for her to pull them all out. Do you know who we are here, infected? Infected just like you, alive and dead. The infected who managed to just barely keep themselves alive, thanks to Reunion, and the countless infected who died here, thanks to Reunion. But you weren't infected before. They scattered the people of Chernobyl in all directions, then hunted us down. It started as a slaughter, then turned to torture, and finally they dumped the survivors just like trash. I don't even know how many starved or froze to death. But those of us who survived were all infected by constant exposure to Iridium. Every last one of us. You infected. You damn infected. Trust us, you don't have to take us to other patients. We'll leave you what you need for critical care. And then we're all gone. I don't trust you. The Ursa send you a lungman. If it really was them, we'd be dead already. It's you. Amia scanned his code. Dr. Cal? Guard, explain yourself. It's been a while, Amia. Dr. Cal. And Dr. A. Okay, I think this is a good place to probably end. It's like a midway point. I want to say what 7-9. It's like midway. Yeah, it's like midway through this. And holy crap, dude, that was so much reading. Holy crap. Okay, I guess I will just continue this tomorrow. Probably same time. Just gonna slowly chip away at this. Oh man, this is the amount of lore. Holy crap. Oh man, but good read, good read. But yeah, I gotta call it here for now. I'll be back tomorrow. Gonna head out now. Have a good one.
この静けさ、故郷での日々を思い出します。この静けさ、故郷での日々を思い出します。